flying high, you know how I feel. Sun in the sky, you know how I feel. Breeze drifting on by, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me, yeah. And I'm feeling good.
Driz looks good. Driz is playing like one of the best versions of himself right now. Driz! Oh my!
Driz showing why he is so goddamn dangerous. FSK Driz, take a freaking bow, mama.
Fish in the sea, you know how I feel. River running free, you know how I feel. Blossom on the tree.
A new era is dawning, it would appear, with the Elite Kingsman back on top, with Fonty leading the goddamn charge. And still, G!
He's looking like a champion that is going to be very difficult.
Champion just seems to find the mark more often than not. Champion looking so clean.
And still.
The Xbox champion EK Fonte takes on the challenger FSK Driz for the Xbox championship, and the card starts right now.
What is good, you beautiful bunch of savages? Primetime 97, EK Fonte, FSK Driz. Two title fights on the line here this evening, with the co-main event, of course, B3 Goat coming back to try and defend that belt once again against another up-and-coming threat. Joining me in the commentary booth to call all of the action here this evening, your voices of the Octagon, Mr. Humbledink, J-Dime TV. How are you doing, lads?
I am good, Cyrus. It is Primetime 97 J-Dime, EK Fonte versus FSK Driz. This is going to be an absolute banger, as we've seen in that trailer right there. These two both on heavy winning streaks. It's going to be crazy.
Exactly. And I'm really looking forward to this fight because Fonte has looked like a madman recently. He's been on his P's and Q's. He's looked very elite. But then people have been telling me FSK Driz is going to walk through him. And I don't see it that easy. I think this is a 50-50 fight, Humble.
Yeah, I can't, to be honest, exactly the same as you. I've doubted Fonte so many times, Cyrus, as we pointed out previously. I said he needed to prove himself, and he has. And, you know, that is exactly what he's done. He's took the reins of that title, and he's defending it each and every week. Is he going to do it again is another question, but I doubt him again.
No, exactly right, brother. This guy has been an absolute menace since he had the opportunity to fight for that belt. Vacant belt at that. Came in and fought against KM Caliber in what was a sensational bout. Got the win in the 4th round via KO, and since then, knockout after knockout. This man gone up against the likes of KM Winter, Naznim, all finishes, and he plans to continue that here this evening. But as you guys rightly said, and as Jay alluded to, it's against an incredibly game opponent in FSK Driz, who, much like the champion, has been knocking people out left, right, and center. So these two guys meeting in that main event, cannot wait to see it. But that is not the only fight here this evening. Of course, we have our co-main event between B3 Goat and CB J-Dime. Brother, what a goddamn bout this is. Two sensational competitors.
Yeah, and I remember the match they had in the earlier seasons. It was a good match as well, but B3 GOAT is a different person than he was before. He's now champion, and you know what they say, when you become champion, you get 30% better, and he's looked like the best. That's what he's looked like. But as we know, the only person CV has lost to has been Smudger. Everyone else he's beat. So you know CV is looking forward to getting this opportunity, Humble.
Yeah, exactly. He's got a 100% win record against everybody that's not called Smudger. You know, that is impressive. And B3 GOAT, as you said, looks better than ever. Similar to Fonty, Cyrus, the confidence that you get as a champion seems to bring out the best in these players. It's what we see time and time again. CV undefeated this season. You know for a fact who he's got his eyes on. It's the man under the fight underneath. NM Smudger versus MK Dave. Those two have been going at it forever. CV and Smudger I'm on about. So there's other implications towards this co-main event, not just the title as well.
Yeah, exactly right. And obviously, it's all about how it plays out here this evening. CV is a smart man in that cage, and he knows that he cannot look past B3 GOAT here this evening. That champion has got there for a reason, but you know he's definitely going to be eyeing up some of those big fights that potentially are down the line. Should he be able to get his hand raised here this evening? Honestly, though, B3 GOAT, what a menace that this man has become. A grappling, kind of phenom. For a long, long time, working with the B3 boys now, he has been able to adapt the hands to go with it, and quite honestly, he has been, like I said, unstoppable so far. The confidence is an all-time high. I think we've said it in the past, confidence is a massive thing in this game. I think that's what comes with being the champion, right? Is that your confidence isn't at an all-time high. You're not second-guessing yourself, and you're kind of really able to commit to some of those things that maybe other guys are missing out on, but as we look down the entirety of this card, Killer's Row, shorter card than normal, Humble. I'll throw it back to you, brother. 14 fights here this evening, but my God, the action could not be more stacked, brother. More stacked. I mean, even on the very, very early end of the card, as you can see, EK Masio, Bia Batch, one of my kind of favorite fights to look out for. Those guys are both really, really interesting strikers, well-rounded opponents at that, and they have creative styles to try and get that finish.
Yeah, they do. And as you said, 14 fights, but I'll add another word to that, Cyrus. 14 quality fights right there. These fights are going to be fantastic. They always are on PT. Every one of these guys is ranked J-Time, so you know what that means. We're going to have barn burners throughout, and you know they've kind of earned the spot. It's still early in the season, but a lot of these guys now are starting to get on good win streaks.
Yeah, but it don't even matter who's fighting. It's PT. There's never boring fights. Never. Not one time,
right.
Humble.
That is right. We have a 98% finish rate, and that other 2% goes to Dino. So you know, J-Dime, as you coined that phrase yourself. So, yeah, PT is the place to be. We're making moves. You see these trailers, there's things coming up behind the scenes you cannot believe. PT is here, Cyrus, and I'm guessing we start the first fight right now.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Like I said, this is only the beginning. Bigger and better continues to come, and the first fight is actually just going to be that. It's the only change-up that we have so far here this evening, and it is going to be TK Amazon in place of Lepo taking on Spooky. Let's be straight up. Amazon is one of the most incredibly active competitors that we have had on the PlayStation side of the equation. He is always in for a goddamn war, Humble. And going into this fight here against somebody like Spooky, who, let's be straight, he is like terrifying, especially when he hits the mat. He's going to have to really kind of use that veteran savvy to stay composed in some of those moments, because inevitably, what Spooky brings to the table is that full array of mixed martial arts and, of course, grappling dominance should it hit that ground.
Yeah, exactly. He's a grappling phenom. That's kind of where he focuses his area, and he has been working on his striking, J-Dime. We've seen that record right there. We always liked, me and you always go back and forth on this record, J-Dime. 11-4. We fought both of these guys. We know what they're like. Amazon's improved a lot over the last couple of months.
Yeah, and Amazon has a weird way when he's out of the fight, just coming back. He's never really out of it, Cyrus.
No, he's not. He is like the comeback kid of the PlayStation division for sure. And like I say, I think that his ability to dig deep is massively important in this bout. This is the first time we've seen Spooky in quite some time, Humble. Just to kind of throw this to you, brother. He fought first on the PlayStation Grand Prix after a great season that he had last time out. Lost to his teammate up against Rome Matrix. And then took a bit of a time away before getting a W on the uned round 3 KO over Mr. Darth. I think, coming back after a long time off, we'll have to see how that plays out. Will there be a bit of cage jitters or a bit of octagon rust? Doesn't look like there is. He's straight to it.
Yeah, if we go back and we look at reflecting seasons, essentially, last season he went on a bit of a, I think he lost one fight, won 3 type of thing. So that's kind of where Spooky likes to be. He's not as active as everybody else, Cyrus. So the jitters can come out a bit more. You know, he needs to kind of get in there a bit more to get rid of those jitters. And I do think, like you said, it's all about him versus him. You know what I mean? His opponent's there, but he's got to worry about himself in his own mind.
Yeah, I completely agree, and I think he's doing a really good job of rising to the occasion so far. He's come back in a big way. He was in the community giving out some gifted subscriptions earlier on, trying to get some hype up high, and he's come into this fight with all action, really meeting King Amazon in the center, pushing him back and mixing in that grappling and striking, Jay, to keep Amazon kind of on his P's and Q's. He has to be very cautious. He's doing well, but he is being pressed heavy.
Yeah, and I respect this pick. I don't see Sadiq Yusuf much in this game. Like, that's rare, Humble.
Yeah, you don't. That's kind of Spooky's sort of way of doing things. Essentially, he likes to pick those sort of fighters that you're not quite sure of. That's what he does. But I just seen to it from Amazon. I want to point out he got a clinch quite early there and then changed the position of the round and also landed some shots off Cyrus. A good tool to use. Not many fighters do it, but if you can add the clinching, especially with Barboza, that's going to be effective over time.
Definitely so, man. Like those knees from Edson and those kicks are obviously fantastic, and the more you can employ that, the better. But he gets set goddamn down. What a combination from Spooky. What the hell was that, Jay? Jesus.
Yeah, Spooky looks like this is the best version of Spooky because it's always 2 versions of Spooky. There's one like this is the great version of him right now, though, Humble.
He's come out the blocks absolutely flying. Look at Spooky go. He's throwing all sorts of stuff. He's leaping punches, 3-piece combinations, 4-piece combinations. Cyrus, he's flowing right now. He's feeling flowy.
Yes, sir. I said he was coming back in a big way here this evening, and so far so good for Spooky. But goddamn King Amazon trying all he can, gritting through this fight to try and get ahead. But my brother Spooky looks clean, getting clipped a little bit now though. Amazon is starting to find a home for a couple of those combinations.
Oh, you're right. And here's the thing: even though he has dropped him, it's not a dominant. Never mind. Why is it not dominant round? Never mind. He's gonna make sure it's a dominant round.
Oh, bro, you're right. You're right.
I need to shut up. I just need to be quiet. Oh my God!
Notice how bad his body's being damaged. Like he's a couple of shots away.
He's landing switch kicks to his body.
So even though Amazon has kind of took a bit of punishment in that round, let's be real, he got four stuns against him and a knockdown. Essentially, he was still working, Cyrus. He's still kind of picking a shot, and that became effective towards the end of the round. A long game from Amazon so far. Hopefully, he doesn't get put out for his sake, but Spooky's going to be looking to end this quite early in this round.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You would imagine so. Spooky's a guy that really does like to capitalize on some of his opponent's weaknesses, and when he's got them hurt, that's when he's going to move in for the kill. Always been that way, and it's why he's such a tough guy to beat in the cage. He just has that killer instinct. But like I said, Jay, and I will say it one more time, King Amazon is not out of this fight. This man is a veteran. He's incredibly active. Kind of like Donald Cerrone, we see 2 different versions of somebody like King Amazon, turn up sometimes. And right now, for my money, he's starting to look like he may be turning the tides. He gets better normally as the rounds go on.
Yeah, and he's investing in the body too. Hopefully, it pays off in the long run for him, investing that early, Humble.
Yeah, and to go back to what Cyrus says, well, this is why it's such an interesting and good fight, and for the matchmakers and ourselves. Both of these guys are very similar. Both of them get in their own heads, sometimes go up and down. And you can see one guy usually winning rounds really clearly, and the second or third round, Cyrus, throw it away. We've seen that from both of these guys before. So it's a battle of 2 guys in a kind of similar position. We're used to that. Good work from Spooky.
Yeah, exactly right, bro. Exactly right. Now it's hit the mat, though. Of course, this is a bit of a different look, and this is where we were speaking about. Spooky traditionally does his best work, so the majority of this on the feet so far, to obviously the viewers' delight. But as you can see, he gets active on the mat to the point he gets reversed, Jay. And now King Amazon has some top control with a lot of time to work.
Yeah, and he's in a dominant position in top mount now. So yeah, he's out of it. I was gonna say that Spooky got too overzealous and let himself get reversed in that position, Humble.
Yeah, that's the thing, but he's okay on the ground. He doesn't mind if he's top or bottom, essentially, Cyrus. Pun intended, but that's what Spooky does. He'll try and get over. Nice work from Amazon, though. Can he do some damage? That's the key.
Nice.
Straight.
I mean, right now he has Sadiq Yusuf cut and bloody top mount and Niles in tow J-Dime. More combinations coming in. There's a lot of time to work for King Amazon.
Oh, it's getting dangerous here. As great a grappler as Spooky is, there's nothing he can do here. He's just got to defend. This is a dominant position right here, Humble.
Yeah, he's taken some big shots, some heavy shots. He did 3 attempts there as well, so you can't let that guy get the position again. King Amazon gets the mount. Spooky might be saying lights out, and he was so dominant in that first round, Cyrus, essentially until the end of the round, and now we're seeing a different second round as well. Interesting.
Exactly right. I mean, J-Dime called it. Comeback Kid is King Amazon. He is doing all he needs here this evening, but it's not, you know, one-way sailing for any guy here. These guys fighting for every inch of this bout. J-Dime, once again, Spooky getting a reversal. Only 40 seconds to work, but he doesn't take long to get going.
But he can do good damage here to kind of reverse how this round has been going.
Yeah, 20 seconds left to kind of take away some more damage, maybe. I think Spooky might have won. I'm not sure who's won this round. It's a very close round.
Yeah, that top mount was, you know, really bad for Spooky,
Yeah.
but the majority of the round I do feel was kind of like starting to go his way with a little bit on the feet and then the top control. But it's a lot closer top control than I thought, man, so I don't know, look at those stats.
He tried to make up for it at the end of that round. That's crazy.
That's a flip him. If you're one of those fighters, you just put a question mark on that round and you just say, right, if I didn't win the first, I've got to knock him out. That's the way to approach this one, Cyrus.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my goodness.
Oh
my
like
God.
that.
That'd be so funny.
Oh,
Spooky doesn't touch gloves till after the fight. To the pleasure of somebody like Mr. Humble did. You don't like that, brother. Rushing them straight off. But that might get you caught.
Yeah, we should have touched his
he should touch his glove. It's karma. Why would you run at him like that? Now these shots to the body is adding up. If I was him, I'd throw a knee. I'd throw a knee to the body. There we go.
King Amazon, he started to get dirty. He started to use every tool he's got. I like it, Cyrus. I think you should just use everything you've got. You know what I mean? Like, if they're not blocking it or they're not sidestepping it or they're not punishing you for it, do it. That's a way to work on weakness.
My God!
Dang!
How did he survive that? How, bro? How?
He threw that overhand from hell.
Can you imagine the sort of...
Oh, he's back flat.
This is craziness.
Oh
This might be it.
Oh, why are you back flat like that?
How long we got? We've got a minute.
We've got 3 minutes,
my
bro.
God.
3 minutes.
Yeah, it's not bad.
There's a lot of time for him to work, man. That is craziness.
The enjoyment he must have got from throwing that overhand and the cleanness, and then the jump on and get swept and now be in this position. It's absolutely crazy.
Oh my goodness.
How does Amazon do this, though? I mean, see, he got knocked the fuck out in my mind, but somehow before he hit the mat was able to recover enough to get the reversal, and now he's grinding out some great top control with, you know, slowly amounting damage here, Jay, as well.
Yeah, I think the overhand knocked him out, and the impact of his head hitting the canvas woke him back up.
Yeah, I want to point out something though. We know for a fact Spooky won that first round with the amount of rocks he had. He had 5 rocks. We don't know who won the second round. It's a question mark. If I'm King Amazon right now, I know he's won 1 round. He's knocked me down in this round. He knocked me down. So that's gonna. I think the knockdown's probably gonna give him the win. So you've got to knock him out. You have to, Cyrus.
Yeah, exactly right. Oh my God, the body shot.
Body shot. Oh, we get it. Oh my. Hey,
Spooky gets it done. Right, Justin, sorry.
no, he gets done.
He's knocked me confused here, Cyrus.
King
Yeah, that's
Amazon,
how-
brother.
yeah.
Like, he's
That's it.
upset everybody's night. He turned up on a moment's notice. Took this fight with 0 preparation against one of the most dangerous in the game, and somehow, some way, stuck through all of the weathering storms to get that finish. Because let's be honest, he was on, you know, like, he was basically dead in that first round. Like, you know, we believed that he was going to be able to come back. We've seen it in the past, but didn't, you know, don't know how he was going to do it. Didn't know how he was going to do it, Jay. And somehow, some way, he finds those openings, get back into the fight, and get the fucking finish. That's crazy.
I'd be mad at myself if I was Spooky right now. After that overhand, it seemed like Spooky had this. But Amazon, once again, the comeback kid, did it again.
He just had to survive, didn't he, really, if you think about it. So, like, I don't know, like, It's one of those things,
burst him
though.
every
It was a
time.
beautiful, beautiful uppercut, and the way he went backwards, like the absolute class. It might potentially be a knockout of the night already, Cyrus. So you know that's up there. The primetime guarantee continues to deliver, and this train keeps on moving, Cyrus. And the next fight of the evening will be Jon Snow versus King Wicks, I believe.
Yes, sir. So these next two guys up. There's a little bit less information around these guys. I mean, Jon Snow was fairly active last season. Has been a little bit kind of maybe off his game as of recently. Has been playing. So he came on and had a first fight on one of our unaired cards recently. Got a W, round 1 KO. Obviously last season he was about a 50-50, right? But the time away can sometimes really help you develop those, you know, kind of skills, because fighting each and every week, although it does help you sharpen your skills, occasionally that little backstep to work on some of the holes can really help elevate you to that next level. But he's going up against King Wilkes that I'm not as familiar with him. He's
I know, I am.
You are? Well, tell me,
Yes.
brother. I know he's 1-0 right now under primetime unaired as well,
Yeah.
round 3 KO. But what do you know about this man?
I've sparred with King Wicks actually this week.
Nice.
Yeah, King Wicks is a solid striker, but here's the thing: King Wicks is from New Zealand. He's from New Zealand. Dino's not the only one from New Zealand now. Now we got another New Zealand fighter here.
Well, I know we can match him up against Cyrus.
Yeah, I mean,
fight, you know,
a
these two
match
guys
made in
will-
heaven. A match made in heaven
Oh,
for sure.
Jesus.
Both guys used to the high altitude, and that makes sense because we're having a stable 355 right here. So, I mean, look, if you guys are new to playing in an international scene or whatever else, it's the stability that matters. Of course, there is a certain kind of delay that will happen for both guys when you're fighting on higher pings. We do have certain rules in place, of course, against the stability of it, but as you've probably experienced yourself, and I have with fighting the likes of Dover on the Xbox side of things, you know, these higher pings are absolutely fine as long as it's, you know, stable like this. And you see even in the picture quality there as well, Jay.
Yeah. Here's the thing: it's gonna be delayed. I'm gonna be real. It's gonna be delayed, but it's not gonna lag because it's steady. But here we go. This is good advice here. Watch this. Spar people like Dino, who's playing with that end, and you'll be used to it.
Yeah, just get as many rounds in against it as possible and understand the sort of delay. But at the same time, both guys 1-0 J Dime, undefeated. One of these guys can stand out, and they've got to make an impression. You know, Primetime is a brutal audience.
Yeah.
that flying knee early on, keeping King Jon Snow on his toes for sure. I love the Carlos Condit pick as well, though, Jay. That I think that's a class pick, especially, you know, utilizing some of the abilities to go and be a little bit creative with it, with the 4-star picks forced on the prelims.
Yeah, and I haven't seen none of these two fight on PT. I fought these two, but it's different under the bright lights of PT than you just playing ranked, Humble.
Yeah, 100% is the nerves are there. I know Jon Snow's fought, I believe, on PT before on previous seasons, but King Wicks I'm not sure of. And you know, these guys have got to make an impression. We've got these things, Cyrus, in place. The knockout bonuses, the bonuses for extra points that you get for first round, second round, third round finishes. So they've got to put it on each other. Love the pick of Carlos Condit, as you mentioned. Absolute go to the pick. Masvidal versus Condit is a great matchup as well.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, like, the one thing I will say about Jon Snow is that in previous seasons, the little bits that I did notice is that, you know, he's a guy that really likes to fight fundamentally strong. Like, he doesn't like to go too crazy with the shots. He'll throw good front kicks, good kickboxing all round, right? Doesn't want to get too wild out there. But as you can see in this fight, Jorge is the guy that's getting a little bit crazier, and that could lead to some big moments for one or the other, because the fundamentals of Jon Snow may just allow him to continue to tag at a little bit of a higher rate.
Yeah, you said that perfectly, but if I'm King Wicks, then I'm keeping the combos short. I'm not going to throw no 4-punch combos to give him something to counter, Humble.
Yeah, exactly. You've got to mix it up. You've got to mix up your feints and your ones and your twos, different sort of freestyle combinations. Understand as well when you're moving backwards and moving forwards. You've got to. These are the reads that these guys are making right now. They're trying to figure each other out. We start at a quicker pace, but they're absolutely trying to kill each other. It's a great technical battle at the moment. I haven't seen any of the guys land clear cut damage yet, though, like real big damage.
No, yeah, exactly right. I mean, the very close knee in the beginning of this fight, but I think that was just to really kind of keep Jon Snow kind of minding himself a little bit, but they have opened up over the course of it, and you can see them, especially Jon Snow now, trying to really force the action up against the cage, but it's actually getting him clipped quite a bit at the end of this round.
Oh. I'm really interested, though. Say if Jon Snow does get stunned, does he change this pace, or does he continue to fight clean? Sometimes you have to change gears, huh?
Yeah, you got to mix it up sometimes. Sometimes your opponent makes the adjustments, and you've also got to learn and know that that's the time to kind of switch it up, come up with different targets. I like the leg kick checking at the from Condit. Goes high at the end of the round, something you can usually expect. Everyone duck at the end of the round, you know what I mean, Cyrus? Everyone ducks usually because they know the head kick's coming. It's just risk-free for someone to throw it, that's the reason.
Well, honestly, in this fight, I'm liking what I'm seeing out of both competitors. The one thing I was going to say about the kind of Jon Snow liking to fight very kind of fundamentally sound is that when he's fighting somebody like this Jorge, John Wicks, King Wicks even, he, because he's pushing the action in a certain way, that can sometimes frustrate Jon Snow and bring him out of his best kind of favoured style. So these guys actually are a match made in heaven almost in terms of stylistic matchups. I feel like they kind of play to each other's strengths and weaknesses very, very well. But like you can see already, OG King Wicks, he's very, very good at throwing out some feints and looking for some big counter shots. I like what I'm seeing from this guy.
Nice work right there. J-Dan catches him on the exit.
Yeah, I'm interested. Like, I'm just watching the way Jon Snow fighting. Like, he's having moments. Sometimes I'm thinking he's being a little too patient, Humble.
Yeah, he is. It's working though. Sometimes he's done a lot of good defense in the previous round, and you're fighting an explosive sort of fighter in Masvidal. You've seen the leg kick, prime example right there. The flying knee. There's certain things that Masvidal can do real quick. I feel like King Jon Snow is taking almost a Diaz approach. He's just slowly trying to work his opponent out, like break him down and work him out, and then try and finish towards the end of the round. So singular shots at the moment, Cyrus. He seems to be doing okay there.
Ooh. Nice, he checked. I mean, he's been on those leg checks every single step of the way. He's had Masvidal compromised, but the combos flying back in his direction now. Jesus!
Oh my God!
God! Jesus!
Beautiful. That was beautiful. That was
the best Carlos Condit knockout I've ever seen.
beautiful right there.
J-Dime, I think he heard you calling for a little bit more action, brother, because he turned it up tenfold, and that quest for that finish.
Perfect.
Yeah, that was beautiful.
That's beautiful.
If King Jon Snow can keep performing like that, and to be honest, he didn't take too much damage. He did all right. He worked it out, and when he wanted to finish the catch, we were talking about less action, but that was one of the hell of a finish. Built it all up towards that finish, Cyrus, and then unleashed the beast.
Yeah, what I was saying about the kind of like sometimes getting caught into a brawl, I feel like that's exactly what he didn't do here this evening. That time away has definitely favoured him. He's worked on some areas of his game, and honestly, I'm interested to see what he can do. He's been interesting in the past, some really, really good moments of shining greatness, but I feel like that time away may really, really benefit him if he's able to continue to perform like that. Bright future ahead, but it moves us on very, very swiftly to the Xbox side of the equation between two competitors. Like I said, it was one of my fights to watch out for on this card. It's going to be between EK Masio up against Fia Batch. Two guys that, have really, really entertaining styles, like to bring the action very heavily out here. And from what I'm seeing, we're going to have a Jorge up against Conor McGregor match in lightweight, Humble. With the styles that these guys bring to the table, I feel like these picks perfect for those styles and really allow them to, try to go to that next tactical level to get the W. Because these are tacticians we're seeing ahead of us.
Yeah, exactly, and it'll be an interesting fight between two guys. And I just want to point out Masio is currently 2-0, so he's got a lot on the line right now, because if he wins this fight, essentially undefeated, going into that top 15 rankings, J-Dime can be huge. You'll get a big fight against somebody, and essentially you've got to prove yourself week in, week out in prime time, because there's no easy fights.
Yeah, and there's a lot of leagues where there's tune-up fights, there's easy fights. Like you said, Humble, everybody's a dog here. There's no easy fights. Even the people on the bottom level can upset some people. Like, it's just elite level competition, Humble.
Exactly that. It's just, there's killers raw throughout. If you look at our Xbox division, it is absolutely insane. The people we usually see on top are currently fighting it out, Cyrus, for shots and all sorts of different stuff. They're out to fight this season. It's crazy. So it's one of those things, but Masio got a really good chance. I'm sure he did this last season as well. He went undefeated for a bit of time last season before trying to fight for a belt or fight for a number one contender spot. So hopefully he can get there again.
Yeah, I've had the pleasure of fighting Ike Masio in the past. He does like to use more of a counter style. You know, much like myself, he's a big fan of Cub Swanson, and he actually, you know, his style reminds me of him a little bit. He's very creative in the way that he fights in that cage. He's got, you know, unorthodox but very, very good defense, and the combinations are very clean, the timing on them. But that's one thing that Fia Batch brings to the table in reverse of that, J-Dime, is that, like, he likes to pour on the action, really a kill or be killed sort of style. So he's going to try and really press Ike Masio and try to force some mistakes with that unorthodox style that he has.
Yeah, and I know for a fact you're an Ike Masio fan just because you said he fights sort of like Cub Swanson. So I already know who you want to win.
The biggest Cub Swanson fan in the world, right? Sat on this panel right now.
For sure, brother. For sure. Like I said, and I pay it as like the biggest compliment. I do genuinely believe that that's the case. He's using Jorge, so it's not going to allow for some of that full creativity, but he's got different shots. And as you can see, he's trying to work the boxing very, very well, using that body roundhouse to try and offset via Batch. But that pressure is starting to mount up a lot here, Humble. You can see it's breaking down the block of Masvidal and causing some problems up against that cage line.
Yeah, you've got like Fia Batch, who's a heavy pressure sort of striker who likes to come forward and it's kill or be killed style, like you mentioned earlier. But then Masio likes to counterbox, create angles, and essentially strike with precision, J-Dime. So this is a perfect fight for Ike Masio, or should be on paper. But Batch is putting up a really good test right now. He's landing good, clean offense.
He is, but I like the way that Masio hasn't lost his composure. Even when Conor gets closer, he still is composed and fighting at his pace, Humble.
He goes for a takedown right there, gets against the fence, and good turn from Masio. Masio, nothing could be done there against the fence. It's a good position, Cyrus, sometimes to do some damage that, but you don't see it at high level a lot.
Yeah, no, exactly right, bro. And they find themselves separated very quickly. A minute left or so in this round, and it's been a pretty action-packed round already, with a lot of kind of subtle adjustments being made by both guys. You can now see Fia Batch, you know, trying to implement a little bit more of a patient style, and he's having some success with it as well, J-Dime, timing some nice entries, a couple of 1-2s straight down the barrel, and I feel like that is starting to offset Masio just a little bit.
Yeah, but you know, it's a game of inches and a game of adjustment. So we'll see if it gets to the next round what adjustments both fighters will make here, Humble.
Yeah, it's all about adjustments, as we constantly say. It's been an active first round, but no guys kind of stamped their mark on it, Cyrus, yet. It's been very sort of backwards and forwards. I feel like Fia Batch with the forward pressure at the start of the round might be slightly ahead, but who knows going at the second.
Yeah, exactly right. I mean, it's lovely. See, the way that the way their stances are open, Conor McGregor, when he has attacked with the you know, the roundhouse to the leg, or the leg kick, and the roundhouse to the body, he's having a lot of success with it, because Conor does have slightly quicker kicks than somebody like Jorge Masvidal. But I just feel like that Masio right now is timing Conor very, very well, and that's the adjustment in this fight for me. And what I'm seeing is whether or not his opponent, whether or not Masio is able to continue to time him and stay ahead of the adaptations that Fia Batch is making. Because he's making adaptations real quick. You can see it happening in real time. They're countering each other very well.
Nice.
Good teep right there, J-Dime. He teep to the body, and obviously if you constantly do that, he chips away at the health of the body, doesn't it, and a bit of stamina as well.
Yeah, it's very. Oh my! If he get caught with another teep to the face or either to the body, I'm going to explode, Cyrus. Like this.
Like you know, it's going to get frustrating, right? And what Ike Masio is now doing is using his movement to try and feint entries to pull out that teep. But there's the head kick.
Oh, that is incredible.
He didn't mean to throw the leg kick. I promise you he did.
Beautiful work. Fia Batch lets it go. Beautiful timing on that kick right there. And one thing about the straight shots, as you guys were alluding to earlier on, one of the reasons that you throw straight shots when you want position is you want your opponent to kind of move backwards, or you want him to move into a side kick. So that's exactly what he's trying to do. He's trying to manipulate his opponent's movement with those straight, the teeps and the straight kick.
Yeah, exactly right. And then he was eventually able to go high when his opponent's hand started to drop. It's beautifully mixed up from Fia Batch, showing why he's so dangerous. As I mentioned, kill or be killed style, so he's not going to be content with trying to get ahead just on the eyes of the judges. He's looking for finishes, as we've seen already, and Masio answering fire with fire. Look at these
ooh.
guys trading, bro. It's this is a great fight.
Oh,
Technical brawl this J-Time. I don't know how those two words got together, but it is a technical brawl.
yeah, I don't know how. Yeah, I don't know how you just did that, but yeah, this is a good fight, and I know. Ooh, Maceo keeps walking forward into these shots because he's trying to get it back, humble, because he's been stunned this round.
Yeah, exactly. And it's hard sometimes. You don't want to overcommit. You know, your opponent's aware of when they're winning and they're aware of traps are set, essentially, is what I'm trying to say, Cyrus.
Yeah, exactly right. And that's one of the things, right? When you're behind in a fight, the precipice is on you to force that action. It's on you to get that finish. Obviously, nobody wants to lose by decision, knowing that you could have left more in that cage. And like I said, Maceo is not a guy that's going to go silently into the night. As you can see, he is forcing the action, considerably more aggressive at this stage in the fight. For better or for worse, they are going to continue to meet head on in the center of this cage, throwing those bombs.
Exactly that, and he's going back towards the fence right now. Beautiful work, trying to get some position. You see straight away, he didn't reverse it though, Jay. He didn't like use the clinch to kind of get a better position. He just kind of tried to land some damage right there.
Yeah, and oh, nice. And I want to know in this third round how it's going to pay off for Maceo. What?
Oh,
Okay, how it's going to pay off for Maceo because he has invested into the body. So I know Connor body health isn't the greatest right now.
Yeah.
are we just going to pretend that they went on trampolines right there with me?
That's the Connor effect, bro.
Yeah.
That was the Connor effect, you know? Like, he just gives him a little handicap then. Just a little handicap.
He's coming straight back up and then down. That's funny. No real damage, just control, just kind of a rest here for both guys. One shot maybe, yeah, just one.
I mean, the face is bust up though, bro. Both guys are showing clear signs of being involved in the war that they are, and they still have another potential 5 full minutes ahead of each other. I'm sure that both guys are going to want to make that a very, very quick 5 minutes, if if anything less. But as you can see, the way that they're meeting, just in a kind of crash sort of situation, just continually crashing into each other in the center of the cage, Jay. I can't imagine this is going to last too much longer.
He said it.
I don't-
Yeah. He said it.
Yeah.
Bro, I don't believe in all of that. I don't believe in all of that.
Somebody about to get finished though.
Oh, Jay, why would you say it?
I'm doubling down on what he said.
100%, bro.
Wait, listen, we believe in our finish rate. What am I going to say?
We've got the commentary curse, and you are aware of this, boys. You're fully aware. Now,
You
these
want
two
to
are not.
believe in it, bro. You want to believe in it. It doesn't exist, bro.
The only time these two are finished each other is when I say they're not going to, because that is the opposite of exactly what's going to happen, Cyrus, as you're aware.
Oh,
Look at these combinations of flying from Fia Batch being answered back with a couple of combinations of EK Maceo, the technical excellence on display from both guys, really willing to risk it all as he starts mixing in the lunges. This is when EK Maceo is now starting to risk it, and Fia answers back, brother.
anything you can do, I can do better. That's what he's doing right now.
Mate, he's like, had two of them back, both of them showing off. It's almost like a dance this J-Dan, where they're like trying to kind of up each other with combinations and who can get the most flashiest sort of KO.
Yeah, it's anything you can do, I can do better. That's what it is right here. But I hope that I don't get one of them messed up. That's the crazy thing.
Yeah, I can lead you in some bomb.
Oh!
Like that right
Oh,
there. Maceo might have put himself in danger.
Whoa.
McGregor is coming after him, got him against the fence. He decided to just kind of false pressures, essentially, Cyrus, keep him there.
Yeah, well, but yeah, exactly. The false pressure. He is, utilizing lateral movement incredibly well at this moment, Fia Batch, and you can see that he's got EK Maceo, in the trenches right now, really trying to battle through for a victory. For my money, it's really, really minor adjustments that Maceo needs to make to get that big damage.
Oh,
But it's easier said than done when Fia fucking Batch is absolutely laser focused at this point, J-Dime. The left hand, the right hand just continuing to connect.
nice.
100%.
Yeah, but Cyrus, we got 1:30 for this fight to end. We may have cursed them if this
No, we
doesn't
ain't
end.
cursed shit,
no,
brother.
we didn't. No, it's gonna end. It's gonna end. No,
not gonna
we didn't
end.
curse nobody. This fight's about to end in a second.
Really good. Both credit to both guys.
Oh, it's about to end. End him. End him. Prime time, Garrett.
Oh, Jitto spoke. I was about to say credit to both guys.
You just
But
got
these
both.
guys have got a really good defense as well, Cyrus.
Yeah, no, 100%. 100%. Look, well, I expect absolutely nothing less than what these guys have brought to the table here this
I
evening.
might have cursed them.
Nah, they ain't no curse, bro. It's fine. We got
Oh
25
my
seconds. We got.
The curse is real is in the chat right now, and we all know it's good with submission. Now,
Okay.
There's not enough time.
The
There's not
curse is
enough.
real.
Yeah, it's
Oh my
curse is
gosh,
real.
I-
Blame J Dime, everybody. The curse is real.
Oh my
T-shirts.
God.
I'll take ownership, bro. I'll take ownership. I started that shit. You know, Jay.
Oh, we've added these two as well into the Dino crew.
Oh
No,
my gosh.
we're not used to decisions in primetime. It's crazy, but that was a really good technical fight. Both guys had really good defense, and it was kind of a masterclass in striking. There's a bit of grappling, Cyrus, but I don't know who's won that fight. I'm going to be honest with you.
Yeah, I think that Batch has taken it for me, my money. It was really back and forth. Masio had a phenomenal performance throughout the entirety of tonight, I do believe, but the momentum was shifting in Batch's favor, especially towards the third round. But without further ado, we do not have the actual announcement, so we'll see who gets their hand raised.
Oh.
Crowd is reacting. I don't know
Conor
what that
McGregor.
means. Conor McGregor.
I'm right here. Fair match. Great performance. Good fight from a very dangerous and undefeated guy as well, Jadam. Who you fought there, Masio?
I apologize if I may have cursed somebody. I'm sorry. I will
Curse is
not
always real,
bring
Jadam.
up-
We can't help it. We can't. We just say things and the opposite things happen. That's pretty much
Man,
it.
it's crazy.
It's great. It is actually crazy. But Masio, he had a great fight there, right, Cyrus? He's got to keep his head up. It was a fantastic fight between two good fighters. But Batch gets it done, and he looked really good in that fight.
Yeah, he did. I'm very, very interested to see what this man can do from here. He, so far in this season, he kind of had a bit of 50-50 run. He's 3-2 at this stage, now 4-2, of course. He had only lost the likes of Ali 10, and and that was via decision. But everything else, he's beaten the likes of Lilo, Dezinho. He's really, really beaten some top names. So although he's 3-2, now 4-2, some of the names that he's beat in the earlier part of the season truly are excellent feathers to have in his cap and go excellently on his resume. Now, adding Ike Masio to that being the first loss of his season, we know Ike Masio will bounce back better than ever, of course, but the story of this evening is Via Batch moving on in a big way in the Xbox division. It does, however, move us perfectly humble across to the next one, Fight 4 of this evening. It's going to be the most improved fighter of 2022 for the PlayStation division. Vuck Gaming also became champion very, very quickly after that. And he's looking here this evening to continue back on the winning tracks after 3 straight fights up against Joe Weller, who is a man that has a pretty clean resume of his own.
Yeah, exactly that. These two are in really good positions right now, early on in the season. Look, Gaiman's always up there, J-Dime. He's one of the more consistent sort of PlayStation players amongst PT. Like Cyrus said, former champion as well. Ooh, the record doesn't give me confidence. But we've seen it before where guys win. We need to point it out because people who are watching will obviously think the same thing. We've seen it before where guys are 10, 11, 12, 20 nil up on people and then they lose on prime time. It's crazy.
We've seen people be up 200 fights, right? Like it's like no joke, up 200 fights. And look, this is the thing. It's all one thing. Training with somebody, you can get a lot of wins and losses, just coming across each other in the ranked circuits and whatever else. But when the bright lights are on, there is a different level of pressure. It's really when people excel or fail very, very epically. When those lights are on. So I imagine that's going to be maybe part of what comes here this evening. I expect big things from somebody like Joe Weller personally. He is a man that has burst onto the scene very, very recently. He is 2-1, but he's got he's got great wins over the likes of Ned, for example, who has been a phenom on that PlayStation division. And he has a really entertaining striking style. When I was kind of doing some of the notes for this card, I went back and watched some of these guys fight again. And he's willing to let those hands fly, as you saw already, Jake.
Yeah, but the thing is with Vuck isn't just a striker. Vuck is like a well-rounded martial artist. More of a... Oh my goodness. He's getting punched though. I don't know. He may be punch drunk right now, Humble.
One of the things about Vuck Gaming and one of the things that makes him dangerous and some of the notes that people have got is that he's an all-round player, as I was about to say. He's already beat me to it, Cyrus. He likes to use his takedowns, he likes to use his striking, but the reason he's so dangerous is because he mixes it up. You don't know what to expect from him. He gives you extra things to think about.
Yeah, exactly right. He just brings the full array of mixed martial arts excellently to this octagon. Going somebody like Jacare Souza, I mean, it speaks volumes to his confidence on the game. You don't often see a Jacare Souza pick these days, but he has got absolutely sensational submissions. And Vuk has a few of those on his resume of his own, but doesn't get the opportunity right there as Joe Weller stands up, and as you saw very quickly, this man loves a little slip or a pull counter, and he's going to look to slip and rip them here this evening.
And we're back on the ground. Yeah. And then here's the thing. Matrix gave us the scouting report in the chat. He said, Joe can't fight southpaw, but he's good though. Why would you say that when his opponent's watching this?
Giving secrets out, right? They must not like him. Maybe Matrix and Joe don't like each other, you know. Maybe a fight in the future. Not that we stare fights up and make them on the spot, Cyrus. You know, we're not that type of league.
No, sure, for sure. But sometimes these storylines add a little bit of juice when they get matched up inevitably. But look at what Vuk is. League.
Yeah, I'm that type of person.
Well, look at what Vuk is doing, though, man. This has actually been fantastic from him so far. Clamping down in these positions, continuous ground and pound, and you know that he's going to work towards a submission when he gets a nice denial or two off. He looks like a man on a mission here this evening, Jay, and doesn't seem like no stopping him when it hits well, at least in terms of the mat.
Yeah, it don't seem like there's any resistance right now either when he's on the mat. There's no denies. He's doing what he wants right now, Humble.
Yeah, that's when he gets going. I think he had some of the best submissions last season as well. I'm sure 2 of his submissions that he got pretty much last season were in contention for submission of the year. And as well as him getting the most improved fighter. So he's making waves. Highlight reels is what you want. You see the packages and stuff, Cyrus. You've got to have these sort of things that put in these videos and people know about you and they put on whatever social media platform. And as we grow and get bigger as well, it's only become more important. So highlight reels are key if you want to be a great esports player.
Yeah, exactly right. Look, Vuk Gaming has built an excellent resume at this point so far in his run at Primetime MMA and beyond. He is, however, found himself in a reversed position right now with only 22 seconds left on the clock.
Ooh.
Joe Weller trying to rain down some holy hell on the face of Jacare Souza.
10, 9. Okay, that's smart. We're back on. Oh, he just took a free kick for no reason.
I thought Jay Dan was doing the Royal Rumble countdown right there. He's just no respect as well. Oh, Jay.
No
He's
respect.
That's what I like to see. Now I'm excited for the next round.
That's what you like.
Now I'm excited for the next round. These two do not like each other. You can clearly tell he's not happy with the way he's playing. And we'll see if there's no fake love touch, but you can tell there's a bit of animosity now, Cyrus. It's a bit of bad blood adds a bit of tension, you know?
Yes, sir. The emotions are at an all-time high in this second round here this evening. Big head kick, partially blocked there from Joe Weller. As you can see, fishing, pulling, and pulling for those pull counters. Almost gets one right there, J Dime. You can see that on the feet, he feels supremely confident against Vuk.
Yeah. But Vuk looked. Oh my god. I'm not gonna lie to you, the record means nothing. What they say, 7-0? This means nothing right now.
This can all change. Things can change, and the way Joe fights as well, he's not.
Oh my god, he's getting trapped in that corner too.
Nope, he's not happy. He's throwing everything at him at the moment, Cyrus.
Yeah, look, he may have been 7-0 coming into this one, but this is the one that counts as he continues to fish and pull for those pull counters. He gets caught, and Vuk Gaming mounting a late comeback in this second round.
He's just going straight down the middle with a big lunge and strike because he knows he's going to keep trying to pull. So he's just constantly going to that one thing, trying to time a pull J down, which it's working now.
Oh, no! It is working very well. Oh my! Oh, he didn't hit nothing just now. He just hit air.
You don't believe our scouting report, Cyrus. You know, like these are. We're very good at what we do. We know what these guys bring to the table before they do it, and exactly what we've kind of predicted so far has happened.
Yes, sir. Like honestly, specifically Joe, I spent some time getting some footage on him since he's a little newer to the community.
Oh my god!
Watch some of his fights back, and this is honestly kind of what we've seen from him in his performances so far. On the feet, he is a menace. He does have the ability to survive on the mat, but as you can see, he doesn't want to be down there. He wants to be up here doing this, Jay.
Yeah, but do you know why he keeps getting the get up from side control? It's because Vuk is pre-denying. He's literally just. So he's having a free get up, Humble.
Oh, there you go, and that's nice work.
Lovely.
Oh, nice.
Pre-denial list goes to the body twice. He's got 1 minute 20 seconds to work. He's probably going to try and chip away. Rolls in. I hate that. That's so frustrating for being on the bottom. When someone does that to you, it's so frustrating. Cyrus will just roll with you. There's no sort of tension. They just let you roll and they stay on top. It's horrible.
Yeah, exactly right. Chipping away at the body, back into the top mount now. This is where he's done so much fantastic work in the past. Brutal ground and pound, mounting up.
Oh my god!
People going crazy in the chat about certain bobbleheading. It all gets reviewed, guys, afterwards, so don't worry. If there is any violations, we do look after the players in the community and see what's happened. But we let the fight continue as always, Cyrus. We call the fight as it is, and at the moment, one guy is getting his head punched in on the ground.
Yes, sir, man. Like I said, this straight after straight. Now a couple of hooks.
Nobody straight she gonna throw. It's
See, like,
crazy.
listen, Seth, people are arguing back and forth. It was a bobble, it's not a bobble. This shit's recorded, man. Let's just enjoy the fights in the moment, you know?
But they like talking. Well, I know that it's gossiping, you know. That people.
Yeah, I know, but it's crazy, bro. It's crazy.
If it's so blatant, we mention it. But if it's just like one guy's getting beat up still, the guy you're accusing is getting his head punched in. Concentrate on that guy punching his head in, you know. So we're focusing on the punches while you're focused on the movement of the heads and stuff. So I don't know, but it's back to the match, J-Dime. And Buck Gaming is looking to spend the next 5 minutes punching him. If he's bobbling or not, he doesn't care. But he gets back up. Joe Weller, he's on top. I guess. Can he stand up? Just some out.
That's a good denial right there. Oh.
Lovely work. The denial's really starting to add up as well there, as he does finally manage to advance position into half guard, Jay.
Yeah. And if you're Hamzat, I don't know how to judge your scoring is. Yeah, I will say, get up and you may need to finish. I don't know.
I'm not sure. Yeah, because it's so close. Don't forget the big knockdown, I believe, the first round, if I'm correct, Cyrus. There was one, I'm sure of it. So I don't know. You just got to go and win this round at least, but try and get that knockout. He's doing the pullback. That's what it was. I remember now. But yeah, the pullbacks are getting caught, and he's getting some big sort of offense from it. So it's hard to say what to do because if he knocks him out with one, we're fools.
Yeah, no, for sure. Honestly, I don't think these guys are thinking rounds. So they're not thinking anything other than the seconds ahead of them. You can see that these guys are willing to exchange on a dime. Big body rock.
Oh!
Like it.
Oh, what the hell just happened?
What just happened?
We've got some freaky, deaky, some stuff going on tonight.
It's over. It's over.
It's
right?
over.
It's over.
Jesus.
Beautiful. That was a fun old fight.
Yeah, it was brilliant. I like how he keeps getting better, or he really uses those tools. J-Dime he mixes everything up. Sometimes with just his sort of striking, he does everything that is involved in martial arts. What Gaming will do.
Yeah, because if it's just a pure striking match, he could probably lose that. But it's the well-roundedness. It's a mixed martial arts match, and he used that grappling early. And then you mix them with striking. And striking become better because of the grappling, Humble.
Exactly. And people were complaining about the bobbleheading, by the way. It doesn't matter anymore. Cyrus.
No,
One guy's 50% chance it's going to matter anyway, so we may as well just ignore it.
Look, honestly, myself for one, whatever else around it, I was thoroughly entertained by that bout between those two guys. I look forward to seeing what they're able to do in future. Vuk seems back in a big way, was focused and determined here this evening, a man that wears his heart on his sleeve, and my god did he come into this one with emotions high, and I feel like he exercised some of his demons in that cage as he got a big W over Joe Weller. Fantastic pace here this evening, and it sets us up for a fight that I haven't mentioned yet, but my god, is this one going to be a fun one. It's going to be between rank number 14 Pigeon, 3-1 currently in the Xbox division, going up against the undefeated B3 Zach. We haven't seen this man since, for a little while now. Last season, he was on a absolute murdering spree, and as somebody that's fought them both, Humble, right, and I fought both of these guys quite luckily, they are very entertaining strikers. Different styles to it, the clean boxing of Pigeon against that forward, unrelenting pressure from B3 Zach and the ability that he has for shot selections. I mean, this is a match made in heaven, bro.
Yeah, exactly. We don't need a scouting report when we see the word B3. You know, J-Dime, the word B3 tells you exactly how they fight. There's a motto to that. It's one of the only camps I know where I know exactly what I'm going to get each and every time I watch a B3 member fight.
Yeah. You see B3, you know the fight style. You don't need to know the scouting report. It's like a different version of the same player. It's like all of them. It's like all of them come forward, very entertaining, crowd-pleasing style.
Well, obviously, a lot of those B3 guys are on Xbox, right? And Zach is... I'll be straight up with you. Zach is low-key one of the most dangerous forward pressure guys that you will come across. And I'm not somebody that will ever bet against Pigeon in his matchups, because I've seen this guy do what a lot of people have thought is the impossible, but he has a really, really tough test here this evening. Zach is an incredible striker on this game.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah, I was gonna say
B3 block break. Oh, okay. You know what he's here for.
He tells you. He's like, it's almost like prompting you into it. And you know, we see, this is what we talked about with gaming beforehand. But gaming mixes it up, so you can't. It's hard to predict. You've got to get the pattern. Zach doesn't care. He just goes forward and says, "Stop me, try."
So this is the thing, right? I mean, as I alluded to first, boys, on the scouting report, Pigeon has some of the most clean technical boxing, which is really, really underrated on this game. You know, sometimes a lot of people don't like the way he talks, but my God, can he back it up in this cage with the way that he's able to use a really educated boxing system? But as you can see already, Jay, the combinations coming from every which angle from Zach here. Though he is starting to get caught. I mean, it's 50-50. These guys are really, really edging out for different advantages every second of this fight.
Yeah, but he's also taking some off the power of Connor by being orthodox the whole time, Humble.
Yeah, he is. I prefer Connor orthodox though, so I know he's still dangerous. He's still.
There's certain shots you get from being orthodox though, too.
Yeah, exactly. So like certain angles open up more, which is sometimes more important. Nice work from Pigeon. I really want to point something out because it looks like Zach's kind of controlling the fight, but if you watch the movement of Pigeon, he moves to the left, he moves to the right. He's close to the fence, but he's not in too much danger. And when he is, he's constantly moving out of the danger. And then he decides when to engage, and he'll come. It's usually around this bit here, the line, and it's beautiful. Every single time.
That was a crazy combo right there. That was a crazy sequence of events right there.
Combination with him with a flying knee catches him, but that's what I meant to say. He's kind of choosing the times to engage, even though he looks like he's getting pressured back. He's having the better offense because he's choosing when to kind of go in there and engage Cyrus.
I think Cyrus is talking to himself, guys.
I am. My apologies. Well, I was going to say, one of the things the Pigeon has done so well is he's always had such great offensive boxing, but the defense has just leveled up year after year as he's got older in life. He's got, much more intelligent about the defense on the game, and you can see it's really starting to pay some fruits.
I'm really impressed, Jay. I'm so impressed with his game plan in this. It's clearly evident what he's doing. Like if you're looking at him, watching when he's engaging and when he's moving and when he's getting hurt, you can see he's evading damage essentially, and it's a tactic.
I like watching him. I like watching him slowly walk out the way. It's actually enjoyable to watch. Maybe not for some people, but for me it is, Humble.
Because he's doing damage, is when he's coming back and hurting this guy, those explosions that he's doing, he's setting traps essentially, so he's creating mad amount of damage. Zach's got to come up with something, in my opinion.
Nice.
He's not getting the better of these exchanges, Cyrus.
No, he's not at the moment. But like I said, normally he's able to find his reach very, very well. And I think it's all going down to what Pigeon is doing right, quite honestly. He is choosing the right times to throw, choosing the right times to lean, and so far he hasn't really taken any steps wrong. A couple of shots coming through, but everything that even lands for Connor, as Jay was saying earlier on, some of the power's coming off it because Pigeon is landing with some connections beforehand, and it's very, very difficult, as you can see, but Connor is pressing him against that cage now.
He needs a sequence, so he needs the thing about B3 guys, they need 10 seconds to change the fight, and that's the crazy thing about it. It doesn't matter if they need
he may not get them 10 seconds, broski. He may not get that, Humble.
Pigeon. Beautiful timing again. He's still doing the same things he did last round.
Yeah.
And when Zach thinks he's confident and he's in a good position, he might have got some good offense off. He still hasn't dropped him. He still hasn't hurt too much, and Pigeon's still picking the opportunity. Although Cyrus, the head health doesn't look great for Pigeon.
No, it doesn't. He's a little bit worse for wear, but I'm telling you, this Pigeon is about to take flight once again if he gets the opportunity. I told you he's about to take flight. Didn't get the knockout. He's weighing on it, bro.
The way Masvidal does the knee is like he's for a high jump. The way he does it, like big giant steps and a big leap at the end of it. He's trying to jump over a big gap.
Oh my god!
a B3 boy would. He changed the tide with one. He may change this whole fight with one sequence right there. The momentum will switch.
What a crazy thing, because if you're Pigeon, you think you're being perfect right now, Cyrus. You think everything's going right. And then that, like, it's just mad.
It is. On a moment's notice, things can change. And like you said earlier, especially with those B3 boys. But Pigeon doesn't seem to be too flustered. He's back to game plan A, but he's still getting clipped.
He needs to go to B. He needs to go to B right now.
Oh, it's over.
It's done.
Yeah.
And all of that work for 2 sequences to change all this. It's never over if you're a B3 boy right there. Never over.
B3's the thing about that style, and it almost looks like he doesn't have a chance at one point, Cyrus, and then it just flips because of the amount of damage you're putting through the block and the knowledge of the shot selection that Zach's throwing. He knows there's going to be a point in the fight where it's going to start swinging. He's so used to it. He knows the process. He sticks with it. It's almost like no one else can see it apart from him and the other B3 guys. It's weird.
Yeah, they burn that block, and eventually that block, when it's gone, you can't do anything other than those shots to connect on your chin. So, look, Pigeon looked fucking fantastic, to be honest with you, and commiserations to him as a competitor. But this is what I meant about Zach. He is a truly, truly difficult man to fight. Even when you think you're ahead, at any moment's notice, he can turn it around. But he was able to do that here this evening. Remains undefeated up against the ever-dangerous Pigeon. Now 3-0 under this season, under this promotion. And I look forward to seeing what he's able to do in the near future, we should hope. It does move us on, however, J-Dan, to the featured fight of this prelim. It is going to be between ranked number 10 Evo up against Konzi, who is ranked number 11. Couldn't be closer in the rankings, and they're looking for a big, big win here this evening to separate themselves from everybody else in that pack.
Here we go, guys. Evo versus Konzi. Listen, they have to go out with a bang, only because you're the last fight of the feature prelim, so you're setting the tone for this main card that's about to happen. So you have to be at your best right now. Like, I don't want to hear no filling out process. Just start brawling when the match starts.
You are correct, Dan. The matchmakers pick this spot particularly for a reason. There's certain fighters that it's almost like your main event in the prelims, in my mind, Cyrus, because you're chosen out of all the great fighters we've seen so far. These guys have been chosen and put in this position to end out the prelims in a bang, and usually never disappoints us. Konzi is a fantastic player, and he's got a chance to essentially set a tone right now. The bet lines have been crazy as well tonight, Cyrus. 3% on Konzi, 3%, 97% on Evo. Mad.
Well, I mean, look, Evo is so incredibly active, but he gets clipped early. Konzi is showing up with some of the most menacing hands that you will see in this octagon.
He understood the assignment. This is beautiful. Thank you, Konzi. I love you. Thank you.
That's what it means, though, Jay. It's such an important thing. Like, our players, our production, everything we do, everything on this, it depends so much on the performances of these players. And they know what to do. It's brilliant.
Thank you.
Like a chemistry.
Like, it just started off beautifully. He set the tone. Now it's up to Evo. We're gonna see what he does here.
Oh my goodness.
He's about to come back. Wait. He may come back.
No, it's too far. I was
about to say, this could have been a crazy comeback here. He just got up so gingerly.
Yeah, it was part of the animation from the submission, so it's kind of.
I don't know which one of these is streaming it either, but they're playing with 0 volume. That is psychotic in the best possible way. He gets the knockout.
Oh my days! Evo gets it done. He lands. I love that kick. That kick was perfect. He lands the hook straight head kick, Cyrus. The hook to start. It was 1-2 head kicks obvious sometimes. Yeah. You're still going 1 and a 2, but you're going with a hook this time. So essentially, he's mixing it up. Beautiful work.
Oh, for sure. The Evil was in the chat. He said, "Sorry for the dance. I threw my controller."
Man, what a crazy knockout. What a crazy way to end the prelim. Evo, brilliant job. Got to be proud of yourself. Maximizes his amount of points. I love talking about this, Cyrus. It's a league. We have a points-based system. You need to maximize your points as a player to move up the rankings. You get extra points for a first round finish, for a KO, sorry, and then it being in the first round essentially maximizes that amount of points you can receive.
Exactly right, brother, exactly right. So finishes matter here in Primetime MMA, whether that be submissions or knockouts. Getting yourself up those rankings very, very quickly will only allow yourself, especially early on in the season like this, to get in or amongst those title talks. As we get further and further into the season, it becomes tougher and tougher, of course, because these guys are going to fight up and try to work those records up to guys that have been competing season throughout. So make sure to get involved as early as possible. The Discord link will be posted in the Twitch channel. What we will be doing for the moments, guys, for anybody that missed it at the beginning of the show, we're going to hit across to that promo so beautifully made by Humble for the main event here this evening. So we will be back with you very, very shortly.
Birds flying high, you know how I feel. Sun in the sky, you know how I feel. Breeze drifting on by, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn. It's a new day, it's a new life for me, yeah. And I'm feeling good.
Driz looks good. Driz is playing like one of the best versions of himself right now. Driz! Oh my!
Driz showing why he is so goddamn dangerous. FSK Driz, take a freaking bow, mama.
Fish in the sea, you know how I feel. River running free, you know how I feel. Blossom on the tree.
A new era is dawning, it would appear, with the Elite Kingsman back on top, with Fonzie leading the goddamn charge. And still, G.
He's looking like a champion that is going to be very difficult.
Champion just seems to find the mark more often than not. Champion looking so clean.
And still.
The Xbox champion EK Fonte takes on the challenger FSK Driz for the Xbox championship, and the card starts right now.
And we are back, Primetime 97. The action goddamn continues. The action has been sensational so far. Voices of the Octagon, of course, Mr. Humbledink, JDime TV, myself, Cyrus. Guys, this has been an incredible pace here this evening. We had a short card of absolute killers set up for Primetime 97. They are not failing to deliver. And when you look forward at this main card, my goodness, the action only starting to heat up, bro.
100%. And for anybody just joining us, our main event of this evening, JDime, Fonte versus Driz for the Xbox Championship. As you see right there, incredible. But also B3 Goat versus CV. Insane fight for the championship on the PlayStation side. Fight that is.
Man, that's a crazy. I can't wait for the co-main event, man. I really can't wait for that. I don't even have to say nothing about that. But let's get to the fights that, not the co-main events, the other fights. We got Ali versus Art of War. I think that's a crazy fight right there. I'm interested in that one. We have STK Storm versus Dino. That's interesting. Conte versus Caliber. We have M-Town versus Nas, Right versus Moolah. This is gonna be a great card, Hubble.
Smudgett versus Dave as well. You missed one. It's crazy. Like this, the next.
I skipped that one.
It's
crazy.
Absolutely insane. Right versus Moolah, Cyrus. What a fight that I know we're going with next. That fight has got just tons and tons of history behind it.
Yeah, for sure. I'd like to take a moment, though, since we're just coming back. I think it's a perfect time to do so. Smudger was dropping a little bit of bitties earlier. Of course, the support appreciated, but in that he said, got to appreciate the the production, the promo is fire. Shout out to Mr. Hummeldink, continuing to come through with those, of course, each and every week, hyping us up for those main and co-main events. But he also mentioned that his performance is going to be a bit of a headshot. He's going for that title. He wants GOAT to reign, and he wants to come at it. He feels like there's a built-in storyline to that. Hopefully he isn't looking past his opponent here this evening. A dangerous man that deserves to be there in MK Day 5-1 currently in the promotion. Ranked number 1, we rank number 2 with number 1. Next up, title implications on the line. But going back to what you said, Mr. Humbledon, right up against Moolah, these two guys have been ready and biting at the bit to get into the action. So without further ado, we are here. I think it's interesting to note, right, as we have throughout the night, Ripe MMA had won Submission of the Year last year in 2022. But I always have to highlight this. He did it from combinations on the feet. He set his opponent up with about a 4 or 5 piece combination, dropped them and jumped on with a finish the fight submission. So this man, incredibly dangerous, and you can see that in the Fiziev pick. But, with all of that being said, you guys know better than anybody, Moolah is a guy that does it all. He brings non-stop danger no matter where the fight is in this octagon.
Yeah, he does. And Moolah, top ranked last season. He's very unorthodox, great striking. Changed his style multiple times, J-Dime, but pretty similar to like an all-round fighter. He essentially does a bit of everything.
Yeah, Moolah is a really good fighter, and like I say, to get somewhere in PT, you have to beat Moolah. He is not a gatekeeper; he's the gatekeeper.
I'm serious in chat last week saying, "Don't call me a gatekeeper."
I talked him after stream, bro.
Don't call me a gatekeeper. Hates that. He hates that. I like that though about him.
But that should be motivation, though.
Yeah, exactly. He wants to be better, and that's essentially what he tries to do week in and week out. And he's a TT member as well, Cyrus. Team Truth, which is essentially CV's camp.
Well, yeah, it's a suiting name for CV for sure. I called that man the Truth for the longest of times, and it's fitting that his name is Team Truth as well. But we'll see what Moolah can do. These guys, the TT boys as a whole, have been coming through and putting on fantastic performances. The camp has been really elevating each other, and it's been evident in the performances they have put out. You can see right now, though, Fiziev really taking the fight to Moolah out here, Jay, and I don't really know who's winning, but they are willing to exchange in that pocket for the last 2 minutes, basically non-stop.
Yeah, and to me, okay. I was about to say, to me, Dustin is the best lightweight in this game, but Fiziev creates real problems, especially with them fast kicks, Humble.
Yeah, Fiziev's one of the characters because he's a new character. A lot of people aren't fully aware. Like Dustin Poirier's had been in big, high-profile fights, so a lot of the general public use Dustin Poirier, making him incredibly difficult because people know how to use him, Cyrus, and people mirror as well. Fiziev, though, if you know how to use him, he's incredibly dangerous. He's got all sorts of combinations.
Oh my, another head kick.
Yeah,
and oh my god.
Yeah, those head kicks, or any kicks from Fiziev, they're just something else, brother. No telegraphing it, it just comes out of nowhere.
Yeah, I think Moolah needs to make a read, maybe duck a head kick, because he's been stunned and dropped by a head kick. The same one, too, Cyrus.
Oh my god, but he answered back with a left uppercut combination. Let's fly. Dustin doesn't need kicks when he's got bloody boxing. Oh my god.
Oh my. Oh, this is a great fight right here.
This is why we were excited.
Oh!
Welcome to Primetime.
It's over.
It is mad, honestly. It is crazy. That is insane. What we just watched right there was just a couple of minutes of madness.
Beautiful destruction. Absolutely achieved in that fight right there. Ripe MMA, as I alluded to, his combinations on the feet. Did you see that stutter step that brought him out of the range? He ate 2 or 3 punches on the block. Stutter steps right there to land the lead hook, or rear hook even, sorry. And Fiziev, that is all she wrote. Sits him down on the mat, jumps on for that ground and pound finish, J-Dime. A beautiful sequence to what was one hell of an entertaining bout, as long as it lasted.
That was just beautiful violence right there. That was destructive. That was beautiful. That's everything you love about fighting right there.
Yeah, right MMA doing everything right. Just beautiful. Like, just crazy amounts of skill from both guys, but also just lack of defense on some occasions. But I was just going to say, because you did point it out, the stutter step is something that Smudger essentially used on him last week. So you can see him adapting from his loss last week and getting better and adding something from someone else's arsenal. Kind of do it. He may have already done it, but that's a Smudger special essentially. He's got wins over Kai, King Amazon, and now Moolah as well this season. Cyrus.
Yeah, he is doing incredibly well. He's on a bit of a spree, and Ripe MMA, kind of almost touched at the Primetime Gold previously, has not been able to acquire it quite yet, but you can see with the adjustments he's making, the ever-increasing danger that he's bringing to that octagon. Now, obviously, going 4-1 early on in the season, looking very, very good. Only loss is to the former champion Smudger. There's no kind of loss in stock with a loss like that, but you can see the adjustments he made from it, and it's made him a better fighter, and that's a dangerous kind of concept for the rest of the PlayStation division as we continue to move forward. It does, however, my guys, move us on to fight number 8 here this evening, one that many people are getting very excited for in the chat. We've seen a lot of Naz's support come in, of course. Guy's been a TikTok sensation, now looking to let those hands fly under Primetime MMA, but he is going up against one of the trickiest in the game, in KM's M-Town's finest. This man is a full array of mixed martial arts pedigree, brings it both on the feet and on the mat, and now with these 5-star picks, they can go absolutely anybody in this bantamweight division here, Humble. I don't know who they're going, but they're so well-rounded, you've got to imagine it's a real fun weight class to fight from.
Oh yeah, this is one of my favourite weight classes. There's like 15 fighters essentially that you can use that are not too far in skill sets. It's one of the most balanced sort of weight classes. And you've got a Sean O'Malley versus Rob Font. We always see a Sean O'Malley occasionally now as well. He's becoming kind of the meta pick, J-Dime, as we move forward. But I just want to mention one thing. Thank you to Naz for giving us a shout out as well on his TikTok, and do go and follow him if you're into that. And everyone that's coming over, if you want to fight in prime time, go into the Discord in the chat. We give everybody a fight, even if it's not aired. You make your way to the cards. You end up here with a commentary team behind you, J-Dime.
Yeah, and here's the thing. Nas may be the sensation on TikTok, like we always say. He's a really good player, but M-Town is here to try to shut him up, and maybe he can gain some followers from this if he were to get this victory, Cyrus.
Yeah, no, exactly, bro. This would be an incredible feather in his cap. Look, you can see the way that Naz is pressuring right now. Naz is higher ranked, so he got to pick second, I believe it was. He normally goes Sugar Sean O'Malley in this weight class, I'm pretty sure, from what I've seen of him in bantamweight in the past. So M-Town's finest maybe being a little bit tricky out there, taking away his favourite pick.
Yeah, 100%. And that's exactly what I was thinking going into that. And on the lock screen, I was thinking Naz would, because he prefers to Conor McGregor sort of pick sometimes. Yeah. Kind of those clean boxing combinations. He loves to essentially bait people into certain shots. Naz is an expert at going to the body, you countering, and then him countering the counter. He's brilliant at it, and so a lot of those great players are just exceptional. I like how he constantly competes as well. A lot of guys, J-Dime, who make content don't essentially use the esports stuff to put it out there, and he does. Beautiful combination. Yeah, I like the fact that he's a regular competitor.
Yeah, he understands.
Yeah.
Sorry, go on, Jay.
My bad. I was about to say, I was going to take it on a different note and say that M-Town's been baited into Nas' fight. That pressure from again to him, them slip body hooks, them body uppercuts. He's baited in the fight at Nas' pace right now, is what I was saying.
Ooh, yeah.
Oh, nice work from Nas. Goes back to the body, Cyrus.
Yeah, for sure, brother. He is truly a tactician. The counters are phenomenal as he continues to press forward, not giving Sugar Sean O'Malley, M-Town's finest, a moment's notice to breathe. Goodness, it's only been 3 minutes, Humble, and crazy amounts of output from both guys.
Yeah, definitely. They've been throwing a lot. There's lots of setups, I like it when people come out aggressive, use that false pressure where you press into your opponent, not really throw, wait for them and then counter really quickly. He's really good at it, trying to get his opponent back. M-Town struggling on the outside. Naz trying to get him to overcommit. What is going to happen here? I want to fight.
You're saying what a fight. only one person is doing damage right now. It's not what a fight right now, but M-Town, like I said, he needs to throw them knees. He has to give Nas a different look because he's getting pressured in a Nas pace right now. He's like he's in a trap right now, Cyrus.
No, 100%. Honestly, I think the knee is literally the key to the fight for him right now. Throw that knee up. He's using head movement square. No, he's stepping right on his toes, right? And that knee will stop him being able to use that head movement. But whether or not M-Town's Finest wants to go to that as he mirrors the switch of stances, I'm not too sure. He seems to be content, Humble, on trying to go combination for combination, which is not paying to his favors right now.
Yeah, Naz has noticed that if he switches his stance, that he's going to be able to go to the body a bit easier, I believe. So he's starting to do that. Oh,
Whoa. Oh, he needed. That's crazy. That's what he needed. Maybe that can change momentum his way because it was just one-way traffic, and you need a moment. And he had his moment. Maybe he can carry on momentum, or he'll get continued, or he'll just get ran over again. But this is the start here for him, Cyrus.
Yes, sir. Well, Naz has Eddie Bravo in his corner from what I can hear, and he is telling him that that was a crazy round from him, not to slip up towards the end, because let's be honest, he was absolutely running away with it. Sugar Sean O'Malley finds that head kick, of course, and he's got that in the back pocket, but he needs more of those teeps, I think, more of those knees, Humble, just maintain some of the range, because Naz is all over him.
Yeah, he needs to, like, that one shot right there, Naz will not be worried if he thinks to himself, oh, it was just I got caught, I should have done this, but he needs like a clean knockout because he's slowly chipping away. That's going to help though. Go like not backing up, kind of stopping the pressure. And you're holding your ground sometimes is really important in a fight against somebody who's pressing like this.
Yeah. Well.
Nice.
Some good movement now from M-Town. He's doing a little bit better, not getting pressed up against that cage. Starting to get some connections on his shots.
Oh no.
It's stuff like that, though, right, that's kind of letting him go a little bit. I mean, but you say that, and that's the type of shit that sometimes wins you fights.
Yeah. The problem is with the J is that especially you can, if you're a good player, sometimes you bait it out of people, so you want them to kind of throw the crazy shit, so the stamina is at a massive low when you do attack.
Yeah, but here's the thing. If I'm M-Town, you can, when you throw that body uppercut, you can kind of just take a step back and walk back and it won't hit you, Humble.
Yeah, you just do the step back. Like Edem Smudge, a perfect example, and we've seen it earlier on. So the stutter step back is kind of a nice option. Naz just going to work right now. He's butchering the body, J-Dime.
Yeah, that's what he's great at. He's great at them slips to the body too, and you get caught in his trap if you try to counter with any straight shots because he's going to slip. So if I was him, I'd rather throw a round strike off the slip, Cyrus.
Yeah, bro. Honestly, it's becoming uncomfortable now with the amount of body shots that are adding up. Those body uppercuts are time after time. Like, just honestly, it's horrible. It's horrible. But Sugar Sean O'Malley really is starting to succumb to the overall damage that is mounting up. He is answering back, Humble, with a couple of shots of his own, but a little bit too little, too late.
Naz is relentless. Naz is relentless, Cyrus. He's constantly going forward. Beautiful combinations now. Now he's looking for that sort of clean finish, and he's got to be careful because that's when you can get caught with stuff like that, Cyrus. He's got to be careful in those moments. He puts his foot on the glass sometimes, and you know that's where you get caught.
Yeah, just like that right there, the uppercut does land for M-Town's Finest, but Naz is a true entertainer. Live or die by that sword, he is looking for spectacular knockouts. Still pressing the action, and gets clipped!
Goes to the body.
Will he make this comeback?
Jesus, Naz is on the back. This is all this is crazy.
Listen to me. It's not over. M-Town is showing it's not over. You don't give up on yourself because even though he was getting butchered, he was having his moments. It's just not consistent good moments. And now Naz is folding him like a chair.
Someone put some motivational music behind that with J-Dam's voice, and then the guy absolutely
I will survive, I won't.
Brother, that body work is something goddamn else. Somehow, some way, the born entertainer himself, Naz, walks his opponent down over the course of almost 15 minutes, berating him with body and headshots, Humble, until he succumbed to the damage. That was something else, brother. Naz looked motivated beyond all hell to get back at that belt, and performances like that put him in the short running in real quick succession.
Yeah, Naz was absolutely incredible in there. Call him the Butcher, because the bodywork was beautiful. He walked away with a liver right there, Cyrus, and that'll probably get turned into a TikTok. That's the way it works, when Naz. So essentially, beautiful work from him. His his kind of floor continues to grow, his stock continues to rise, and I'll be excited to see what he can do next, because he goes up and down sometimes, but when he gets going, when he gets that confidence, he is championship material.
We speak about it all the time. Confidence is an absolute must in this competitive space. You need to be able to elevate your game. You need to be able to kind of achieve that, kind of almost a cerebral confidence that some of the fighters like Naz are able to accomplish. Like when he's in the zone like he was right then, almost seemingly nothing can stop him. The pull counter's absolutely on point. The bodywork makes it so that, of course, M-Town in that case was just impossible for him to really get a rhythm going or maintain any sort of range. Just a beautiful, beautiful performance. And like I said, I'm very, very intrigued to see what he's able to do in the future. Got to obviously, continue that momentum that he's building so far, and it's off to a great start in this season. Shout out to ESFL coming through with the raid, of course, as we move on into this main card. This is, let's be honest, Humble, this has been an incredible night of fights. 14 fights scheduled so far, every single one of these bouts living up to all of the action and some, and we are only heating up, brother, when we look forward at that main card and co-main card here this evening. Main event, and co-main event here this evening. We have two titles on the line, Xbox and the PlayStation division. We spoke about it a little bit earlier on, but EK Fonty, FSK Driz, Striker's Delight in a matchup between those two guys in a very, very highly touted and highly competitive division with the Xbox side of things.
Yeah, 100%. Fonty versus Driz is going to be incredible, Dan. Those two guys, Fonty undefeated this evening. Driz, just one of those guys who likes to knock people out for fun, and that is where it's at with them two. But then the GOAT versus CV just underneath. I cannot wait for that, because Smudge's fight's got so many implications towards that one. That one's got so many implications towards Smudge's fight. Those fights are fantastic, Cyrus. But next up, we have Kante versus Caliber. BFAP Kante doing really well this season, Cyrus. He's put on some good performances, but he's fighting a former champion in Caliber.
Yeah, exactly right. And Caliber is a man that, we said in the past has really, really kind of maybe sold himself a little short, taking too many fights on short notice. He actually earned himself a role of late replacement in Primetime MMA. Only guy with the role, because he was just there to take a fight each and every single time. Of course, we moved into the rank-based system. It's made it a little bit more difficult for him to do that. But honestly, I feel like that's actually favored his performances here at Primetime MMA. It means that he comes into these fights prepared for, a set opponent, and often seems to make excellent adjustments to really take it to them. But that's easier said than done, J-Dime, because his opponent here this evening, of course, is BFAP Kante, a guy that trains with a sensational camp, really, really has some of the, best brawling out of that camp as a whole, and likes to pour on the pressure on his opponents, which, kind of makes for this to be a beautiful stylistic matchup between the pressure of Kante and the counter-striking of Caliber.
Man, this is going to be a great fight because of how big these camps are too. I'll give you an example. Caliber has fought a lot of people in the BFAP camp a lot, like Dirty Dave or Trixie. And then same goes the other way too with the KM boys. They just all have fought each other, so there's so much film on all of them, so they can break down each other's style to almost a science.
Yeah, 100%. Like you mentioned, a lot of people in our community, a lot of people might not know this, but a lot of people, these top players are in camps to kind of learn from the best players they possibly can. And as J-Dan alluded to right there, Kingsman and BFAB are two of the high-level camps that we see at the top of our cards more often, Cyrus. And that's what they're doing. They're representing. If you're not at the top of those cards, if you're not kind of winning all the time and regularly becoming champion, you're not in that team.
No, exactly right. I mean, let's be straight up there. These two fighters and these two camps that they represent are at the absolute height of their game. Sensational competitors, sensational camps, forming some of the best talent that you will find on the respective divisions. But as you can see right now, Kante pouring on that pressure, right, really taking it to Caliber. And that means that he's either going to walk away with some big damage early, or he may walk onto a massive counter that Caliber likes to set up with some of the tricks and traps that he employs, Jay.
Yeah, but Robert Whitaker in this weight class kind of scares me because he's the absolute meta. If you're a striker, pick Robert Whitaker. If you're a wrestler, still pick Robert Whitaker. He does everything. He's the Mr. Do-All on here, Humble.
Yeah, he's that Yu-Gi-Oh card that you don't want to see, he counters absolutely everything, essentially. But I'm liking the way these two are kind of going at it at the moment. They've come out flying. It almost feels like a lot of anticipation. They both ready in game. You can feel the confidence from the way they're kind of moving, Cyrus.
Yeah, exactly right. There is absolute zero hesitation from both competitors. They are willing to live and die in this moment, and that's what is needed at the absolute highest points of this game. You cannot be somewhere else in your mind. You cannot be in the preparation, the next fight coming up. You need to be right here, right now, because they are standing across from some of the best competition that you will find on this Xbox division. Look how dangerous they are with every combinations, Jay. They're fighting on counters, almost fighting with reckless abandon, but still being defensively sound somehow in that chaos.
Yeah, it's beautiful chaos. It's Counter-Strike. It's fast-paced, high-paced chess right here, Humble.
It's the prime time way, isn't it? You know, it's exactly. We see all sorts of different styles. People speed this up, but these guys have just come out absolutely flying. They're aware they get extra points for knockouts. They're aware of the positioning. Kante got a big win in his last fight against Winter. So essentially, he's already got a huge win at Cyrus. So he wants that. It was last week as well. He did 96.
Yeah, and there was another Kingsman, right? So he's literally come up against Kingsman. Caliber now, of course, one of the heads of the Kingsman or KM camp. You know, he's maybe trying to right a wrong for one of his teammates, but you can't go into this fight emotional because, as you can see, the way that he brings that brawling sort of style to the octagon can cause problems, but it does also allow him to walk onto some shots with KM Caliber constantly trying to hone in. And he's finding a home now, Jay.
Yeah, but it is still Robert Whitaker you're facing, so even though you're having success, it's nowhere near over. Ooh.
You've got to be a bit more singular shot heavy if you are Izzy with Caliber. Like, he's not landing enough kind of singular. He's not offsetting the rhythm enough of Robert Whitaker. It's really hard to, because he can just, if he goes first, essentially, Cyrus, is really difficult to stop.
Yeah, exactly right, bro. Yeah, truly. He right now is changing the angles a little bit. Caliber's got the center of the cage now. He's now got he's now got BFAP Kante behind those lines, feeling the action that's coming his way, maybe starting to feel the weight of the output that he has been going for, because of course that stamina will not last forever. But for my money, one of the interesting things is that KM Caliber has gone Israel Adesanya, Humble. And let's be honest, he does best when he mixes it all together with his grappling, and of course that's not really going to be available in this particular matchup.
Yeah, he's kind of took an element of surprise away. Maybe he will. You know, some people don't care who they kind of using to grapple. It will give him advantages, and I think that's the point we're alluding to. You know, the fact that he hasn't picked a grappler is going to affect the grappling. So you are completely correct. But in the middleweight, when you're going up against a Robert Whitaker, you kind of want to pick somebody that can essentially match him or have a different style and kind of neutralize him. So he needs to make adjustments. My thing I want to see from Caliber is counters. I want to see him essentially countering the initial exchange, Jedi.
Yeah, and here's the thing. He's using Izzy like Caliber. He's not fighting like Izzy. He's fighting like Caliber. It's not poke you from the outside, snipe you. This is Caliber, Humble. This is not Izzy fighting.
Oh, man. Tag pull. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I read with.
He ain't wrong though. He ain't wrong. I didn't see what he said about you. You can't call me Hazard, but
that is the funniest thing I've ever read. I can't repeat it. That's the craziest thing. He's one of those guys. If you just want to see read the chat, if you're not unlucky. But that is so funny. But anyway, to the fight. You got me there, Cyrus. I can't say anything.
Mate, honestly, this from Caliber, he is making those adjustments. I'm surprised not to see lunging strikes out of him, because he's been throwing teeps and a lot of them have been getting caught. And you know that the KM boys, and especially Caliber, does like to mix them in, so I don't know what's holding him off, what he's seeing from Kante, but I think it may be just the chaos. Kante sort of brings something else to this cage, bro. He really does. Like, he seems to just try to overwhelm his opponents in pockets.
He got to get off that cage. He has to slide. He got to slide over, or fight his way off that cage, Humble.
Yeah, essentially. Every time he tries to fight, though, he fights in certain. He can't fight at angles.
Oh,
times. Oh, nice work. Pressure's in. This is the problem with fighting Robert Whitaker, as you mentioned. Kante, you performing exactly how he should, essentially with the character, and Caliber's got to do something right now to kind of stop this. Jay, would you attack the legs? Would you try and stop the movement of Robert Whitaker?
Yeah, you got to do something at this point, because even though it's competitive, it's essentially his round. Once he stun you, you got to mix it up. If you're not attacking the legs, he don't got nothing to worry about.
No, exactly. Yeah, for sure. He's got the oblique kicks and everything that can go with it. He has got a range of the tools that he can attack the legs with, but it can be also difficult given the way that Kante is swarming in moments, right? He's just like, he's almost on that front foot at all times.
Oh, nice. Sorry, Cyrus.
No, you're good, bro.
I was just going to say right there as well, it's clearly evident, I don't know if you guys have noticed, but every time Caliber's going backwards, it looks like he's losing the fight, and every time Caliber's going forward, it looks like he's winning.
Oh my god.
Not now though.
Oh.
Crazy, Kante in charge, you know.
Yeah, but here's the thing. So it was a body stun versus a stun. I gotta see how this is judged. It's either, I don't know. I actually don't know how they're scoring this.
Do you think it's going to go the distance though, J-Time? Otherwise that information's going to be wrong.
I'm not answering that question because if I say yes, then we're going to get a knockout. If I say no, we're going to
he's trying to fake up touch.
Oh, it don't matter. Oh, this isn't going, I'm going to say it. This isn't going to a decision.
I like the fact that Kante gets a bit dirty sometimes as well. He's not like, he doesn't care. You know, he doesn't care if you like him, you don't like him. He's going to try and win at all costs.
Yeah, exactly. He's willing to go, dirty boxing in that case. And I think that honestly, he's fighting a perfect fight right now up against somebody like Caliber and somebody like Izzy. He's forcing him to fight in a way that isn't, to his physical advantages, or to his natural inclinations even. Kind of that dirty boxing style on the inside, really working some of the elbows, the clinch work and the like. It's keeping him off guard, and isn't allowing him to utilize the kicks that we were calling for earlier. So there's no range.
Oh, beautiful.
Nice.
But he has got hands still. He has got hands.
He is. A good ending with a kick as well. He did it as his opponent was moving away. That's the problem with the kicking game. Kante's going forward. You can't kick somebody when they're smothering you, because if you kick someone when they're smothering you, essentially they're going to throw a combination over the top and catch you on the second or third shot. So you've got to be super careful.
Oh. Whoa, how you get up like that?
Like the Undertaker kicks himself back up, J-Dan. Been watching Michael Jackson.
Yeah, well, he need to be throwing some punches right now because it's not looking good.
Damn, man. I mean, both these guys 2-1 in their last 3 fights. Of course, this is a massive fight for them and their records, their potential matchups in the future. And you can see both guys are taking it just like that. As Kante almost gets the finish, but some Matrix head movement from Caliber keeps him in it.
You've got to think as well, J-Dan, like him not kind of overexerting himself and trying to look for the finish too much. Like when he's got his opponent hurt. How many times have we seen it tonight where that's switched up because you over sort of commit and the other guy ends up knocking you out or getting close to a knockout?
Yeah, we've seen it a lot today. And I don't like the way Caliber using Izzy. I don't like the range he's using. I just think, I don't know. It's weird to watch, Humble.
Yeah, Dime is literally saying to Caliber right there, Izzy stinks. That's exactly what he's saying.
I didn't say that.
He goes for Lyoto in this weight class as well, though, which is the funny one, even in this higher weight class. This is an unorthodox pick from him, and an unorthodox performance, quite honestly, but I put a lot of this down to what Robert Whittaker is doing with that forward pressure and the unrelenting style of Kante across the last 4.5 minutes.
Yeah, it doesn't... Caliber doesn't look himself in this fight. I'll say that because it's almost like he doesn't have the tools that he needs to kind of play how he wants to play. Oh, beautiful work! And everything he needs to. 19 seconds left. Is he going to try and get the finish?
Don't got a choice.
Oh, Kante's getting hurt.
Oh my god!
Hey, I cursed this. It went to a decision. I shouldn't have said
that wasn't a finish, bro. That wasn't a decision even. That was a finish as far as I'm concerned. These guys to the very end. What a performance from BFAP Kante. Another great feather in his cap. An excellent win for him and his team, as we alluded to. Fair play. Where credit is credit due. That seems like a focused and invigorated Kante. I mean, a dangerous man for the rest of the division. It got a little bit wild, especially towards the end, but the forward pressure, of course, is going to mount up no matter who's standing across from you, and it obviously forced the worst out of somebody like Caliber in that one there, Humble.
Yeah, exactly, and I think Kante just had a perfect game plan. He did really, really well. He started really strong and he ended really strong as well. Look at his team name, that's all you need to know. Bill Fanko picking right there. Exactly that, and he'll be proud as well, be happy that he's got a win under his belt against the team, essentially get a win and you win, so good for the morale.
Yes, sir, yes, sir. Well, my guys, Primetime 97 continues with an absolutely emphatic pace. Up next, it's going to be STK Storm up against Dino. These two guys fighting on the PlayStation division, of course, J-Dime, and they are competitors that we have seen quite a lot over the last season or two. They are active at that and always seem to find themselves towards the upper ends of the rankings.
Yeah, and I'm really interested in this fight because, Dino likes to grapple. So does Storm. Like this, I think this is a really interesting matchup right here, Humble.
Look at the I know the ping's high, but it's like the stability. Usually you don't never get a ping that doesn't jump between like maybe 10 at least. This one was cutting 1 or 2 far between essentially, so it'd be interesting to see how the grappling is affected by that, and I don't think it's gonna be. You never know, Cyrus.
Yeah, no, I don't think it will be, especially from competitors like these two guys right here. Honestly, like I say about a couple of fighters, right? These guys, within the community, they really do like to wear their heart on their sleeve. They don't like to really complain too much about their losses. They're all about the W's, and they right here in this one, Dino, going somebody like Leon Edwards, I feel like he's trying to showcase actually his striking, which we've seen a little bit from him recently, Jay. I don't know if it's to his favor, but he wants to prove that he is now a full mixed martial artist and he can knock people out.
Yeah, but Dino striking has been getting a little better, but even if it's not, the fact that we know Dino as a wrestler opens up the striking more because he has that threat, because we know he has good grappling, Humble.
Exactly that. And I think he lost his last fight, but we've seen him get some good sort of finishes.
No, he won he lost one before that. He lost the
before
versatile that he beat you.
What?
Beat me.
No, that's you.
That's a Ute, not you.
Sorry.
No, well, excellent recall from Jay Dime. That's exactly right. In the last 3 fights, both guys are 2-1. Wins over James and Ute for Dino, and wins over Crusader and Professor Potato for Storm. Look, honestly, these two guys, they both have relentless styles, especially Storm, I will say. I mean, I'm surprised we haven't seen shots for takedowns yet. Maybe the ping is a factor in that one, Humble, but, he does normally like to really mix in that grappling.
Yeah, there's a lot of players who I group together in the esports community, like play styles and kind of things. Storm and Dino are 2 players that, in my books, in my head, are very similar to what you're going to be kind of facing. Dino doing really good work with throwing a kick and then landing combinations afterwards. J-Dime, beautiful work. I'm surprised he hasn't tried to grapple yet. He loves his grappling.
Maybe we're going to get a good old-fashioned stand-up fight. Maybe there's a gentleman's agreement. I don't know.
Potentially, they're going to... Well, they've swung it out so far, nothing, but the pick from Storm almost kind of annoying me, because you've got to use the sort of attributes of the fighter, in my opinion, to kind of get the best advantage, Cyrus.
I feel like that might be an SDK pressure that is put on from them, from their owner in Greece, Mr. Reaper, who loves a bit of Colby Covington and probably says you've got to pick Colby or you're dead, and he's gone Colby Covington looking to throw hands here up against Dino Gamer in this main card spot, gets clipped as a result. He continues to get dog walked by Dino. This is not looking good early in this fight.
Blame Reaper for your loss if you were going to stand up and you made you pick him, Reaper's fault. Oh my God.
I'm not going to lie to you. Before this event started, I thought Lucky Smith had the script, but he was wrong last fight. He doesn't have the script.
Nice work.
Yeah, there's a lot of forward pressure right now from Storm, right? But Dino Gamer seems to be the one still picking him apart a little bit here, Humble, across the final 30 seconds ago. It's mostly Dino.
Yeah, Dino has really impressed me with his performance. He's very good at, he's got certain patterns and structures that he uses in his fights, and the way he kind of moves Jedi, that once he gets going, he's really difficult to stop because he utilized that really well. Oh, wow.
Yeah, and that was a good round from Dino. He fought that very well, too, didn't he? That was a nice pull elbow. And I want to know what adjustment Storm is going to make.
He's got to make some. He's got to grapple, in my opinion.
That's one adjustment right there. He's playing like Reaper right now. He's using Kobe and not grappling.
Brother, I mean, the stakes are high in this one. Of course, they are only going to continue to increase as you make up the card, but we are now on fight number 10. These guys know the winner of this is likely going to be in a position to fight for something like a #1 contenders night next time round. Obviously highly ranked in the division. Rank number 3 for Storm up against rank number 5 for Dino. With their ranks and their pride on the line. They are continuing to meet in the center of that cage, J-Dime, and look to exchange combination after combination.
Yeah, and this can be good for Dino winning his fight because Storm is a former champion. A few weeks ago, Storm had a belt. Oh!
You're exactly right, brother, but he gets sat down here this evening. Dino Gamer looking for the finish.
Oh my!
Dino,
It's
man.
over. That was impressive. That was a really good version of Dino. No decision. He finished the fight. Like, that was a beautiful performance.
That was a beautiful performance. A flawless victory, essentially. He did so well in kind of setting everything he did up there. He did really well pressing his opponent and gets a beautiful finish as well with a highlight reel right there. Dino's making a claim to essentially run for a title. You know, he's getting some wins under his belt, Cyrus. So really impressive from Dino in a big win like that as well. Maximizes his points.
Yeah, exactly right. Fantastic performance from him. You know, honestly, like I said, he was looking to showcase his hands. The overall performance that this man is putting together, event after event, seems to be slowly stacking up to a much more complete mixed martial artist ahead of ourselves. And like I said, he's now on the short list of guys who will be, you know, in the talks for #1 contender matchups in future, I'm sure, because, like I said, right now his stock is at an all-time high. He's going to be 5-2, running off 3 straight wins, all by finish. And like I said, getting those hands going, definitely showcasing more of a striking accurate to his mixed martial arts career right now, and it's a pleasure to see. So, with that being said, we do move ever closer to our co-main and main event, the 2 title fights that we have here this evening at Primetime 97. Already spoiled for action, but the action only continues to heat up. Mr. Humbledink. Up next, we will have Ali 10 up against Art of War. 2 competitors that have burst onto the scene and had fantastic runs so far, finding themselves at the top end of the card and looking to get themselves in with an opportunity at next up for that primetime strap.
Exactly that, and Art of War currently coming off, I think, 3-fight win streak or maybe a 4-fight win streak. I know he knocked out Ginger. I know that he essentially knocked out Noetta, and I believe Def Jam as well in a row. So this guy is high, and I remember his fight against Ginger Cyrus. It was a fantastic performance from him, and a really tough competitor as well.
Yeah, exactly right. That was a round 3 knockout. This man likes to get finishes in the 2nd or 3rd round. Typically will take his opponents apart across the stretch of a 15 minutes or longer fight. But of course, up against somebody like Ali 10, who has quite genuinely been in there with the who's who of Primetime MMA now, one of the only losses on his record coming against Caliber at his absolute height. I look forward to seeing what they're able to do here this evening, but Ali is a guy that, in my footage, is a guy that does like to kind of take some risks in his fights, J-Dime, and, you know, is not afraid to go flashy or go home.
Yeah, Ali has looked good, but I'm gonna tell you the problem with fighting Art. The problem with fighting him is he used that jab to a T. Like, that's his everything. He sets everything up with that jab, Humble.
Yeah, he's very boxing based, as J-Dime just mentioned there. He will jab and double jab and set up a rhythm with his jab, essentially, go to the body with it, etc. He'll stay in your face. Beautiful.
Well,
I love his confidence as well, Cyrus, before you go ahead. In his free fight chat, he referred to his opponent and said, if he beats me, he deserves a title shot. Almost putting himself on a pedestal. That's like, up there. The confidence is so high. You know, like, if he beats me, he deserves a title shot. That's how good I am.
Exactly right. Talking of confidence, that's the exact point right there, brother. He believes that if his opponent beats him, then he's the guy, basically, and he should be with that title next to a name. And of course, by implication, he believes that if he wins this fight here this evening, that he should be up next for that title fight. This is an incredible bout. These 2 guys are incredibly well-rounded. We are now seeing Ali take a little bit more of a composed approach from what is typically absolute chaos. But ground and pound leads to a stand-up quickly from Art of War, showing that he has really studied and came to this game prepared here this evening, Jay.
Yeah, I think this is smart. This is smart by Ali because Art is giving him trouble with the jab, and he's already hurt him, and he's already seen he has success in top mount. So this is where he should be, Humble.
you know what's really impressive about Ali? It's how fast he realised. Like, a lot of people spend like a round or half a round and they won't change till the second round, maybe third round sometimes. He did it immediately. He was like, right, I'm going to wrestle now. Listen, we ain't messing about here. I'm not going to strike. I understand that you're a threat already because you're constantly touching me. You're constantly making my head block damage go down, Cyrus. So he switched it up. Backs him lead. He gets the clinch and turns him against the fence right there. You can see he's crafty.
Yeah, and I wonder maybe if this was from the footage that he had, because when I was going back and doing my footage or my homework ahead of this event, you know, I'll be honest with you, Ali, I don't think I saw him shoot the takedown over the hours I watched the footage of him. He's come into this fight with a clear game plan, and we will see if that pays dividends, but I can understand why he's going for these takedowns, because Conor McGregor looking laser focused and absolutely killer with his shot selection here this evening, Jay.
Yeah, and it's hard to play against Conor McGregor, especially in the hands of someone like Art, who used the jab and all, and it's actually annoying to play against, and it can get you off your game, Humble.
Yeah, because it's the fastest strike, it's the lead hand essentially that he's using. What he's able to do is manage distance, and then oh my god!
Oh, when you say that, guess what happens? He gets dropped. It's crazy.
Slip straight from fucking hell right there. Only needed one. Josh Emmett does hit really, really hard, and he found a home for that combination at the end of the round after a very strong round leading up to that point for Art of War. His takedown defense continues to hold up, Jay, as we go into this second round. That rock probably not going to weigh too much on his confidence as he's trying to now light up Josh Emmett.
Yeah, he's going to need to take down defense because Ali is not going to stop shooting.
Yeah, he's not. He has to keep doing this. And one of the things that he was kind of doing is when he was shooting against Art's, the striking became a little bit more even, which I think opened up the end of the round, knockdown on rock essentially, Cyrus. So the keeping Art guessing is a part of the striking tactic as well as the grappling.
Yeah, exactly right. Oh Jesus! Yeah, he needs to do it because, like I say, Art is so goddamn good, man. I mean, the educated jab that he's employing, as Jay was alluding to earlier on, these takedowns are really the only thing stopping him right now. And he does get this one here, Jay, and now he's in top.
That was
mode.
Frustration.
I was saying the same thing, Jay, down in my head. Frustration right there. That's so important.
Oh, you got to keep your composure at all times. I think he's upset about getting taken down this much, Humble.
Yeah, when you seen that, Jay, as a player, because we both went through the same motion right there. As a player, you felt, oh, there's frustration. I'm getting to him. That's kind of how I felt when I seen that. I was like, oh, I'm going to keep doing a bit more of that if I was that guy. So, Art of War kind of wearing his sort of emotions on his sleeve, Cyrus, and if that's going to help Ali get back into this fight. If not, he's already. I don't know how the last round went with the knockdown.
Yeah, exactly right. I do feel like, in this situation, of course, we really, really need to see him take this time to compose himself. Art of War needs to clamp down, but it's so much easier said than done because Ali is using his opponent's frustration against them, capitalizing on brilliant denials and working forward from position to a position, Jay. Now finding himself in this sprawl, happy and content to work away at that body.
Yeah, he's making it a ugly fight. He's not making a striking battle. He's making it an ugly fight. You just grappling where you got the advantage. Ruin his rhythm. Now it's up to Art to make an adjustment because we see where he don't want to be. He's uncomfortable right here, Humble.
Yeah, one of the things that Art's not doing is not mitigating his damage. The damage that's kind of getting landed on him. He's not kind of reducing it or trying his best to just stay defensive, and kind of see out the round. He's not settling for bottom, but also making it very obvious and putting himself in more of a vulnerability. And that's got to be, I was going to say, make Ali confident, but yeah, beautiful work to deny the takedown. Huge right there.
Yeah, and now they've turned the corner. Conor McGregor back on the feet, back in his domain, looking to push the action. But Art has done some accumulative damage, so it may only take one or two to test that chin of Conor once again. Bit of respect at the end of the round after what was crazy at the end of the first. 2 rounds of madness going into the third. I don't know which way this will get chopped up, but this third round is vitally important to what happens for the future of these two guys and the Primetime's PlayStation division.
Exactly that, and touching gloves to start off with, which is a big no-no in Humble's playbook, Cyrus. But these two kind of like each other. Oh! That's why you don't touch.
I said PlayStation. Correction, Xbox. My apologies. But yeah, these guys square in the center now, and I feel like what a big moment from Ali. Of course, that rock and knockdown early on. Now utilizing the takedowns, you know that the frustration, even though he didn't get it, is going to be there in the heart of Art, who does seem like he's focused right now and trying not to let that get to him. Working his striking, as long as he's here, he feels comfortable.
Oh,
But he's
the
not.
problem is we're not here anymore.
Yeah.
What a performance from Ali so far to kind of get over that adversity, make the adjustments so quickly, and then just stick it. He's chain wrestled throughout this fight, Jay Diamond. It's caused Art's problems. We know how good Art is. We mentioned about his jab. It's virtually impossible sometimes to fight Art because of that jab.
Yeah, but he made an adjustment really. Oh, nice. He made an adjustment really quickly, like you alluded to in the first round, Humble.
He might have won every round. If you think about dropping him at the end of the first round, even though he lost 90% of that round, the knockdown might count it higher than the damage that was landed. So he might have won all 3 rounds here, Cyrus.
Yeah, he could very well. Oh, and he steps off. I mean, his range management on the feet is something else. He's got danger standing across from him, but he is free as a bird moving that head. And it may get him clipped. Look at him, it letting those hands go.
Art is game as a badger. He will essentially stand in the pocket. That's what he was going to be worried about, though. The timing, the consistent chain wrestling, Jay Time, the angles that he's going at, the different sort of takedowns as well, different timing. Beautiful work from Ali so far.
Yeah, but Art can't deny takedown is ultimately his downfall too, Humble.
Yep, 100%. Ali's got no stamina there. He's going to try and get the get up. It's too obvious, Cyrus.
Yeah, that's like I say, the frustrations that you guys were talking about is exactly right. I mean, he's trying to just get up on anything, powering up through the center, but Ali all over it. The ground and pound continues. Block is gone. Oh my God! Close gets. A minute left, J-Dime, and a finish still potentially on the cards with Ali marching ever step closer to it.
Yeah. Unless Connor can somehow get up here, this match is probably over. And I don't think Josh Emmett even has to go for a finish, to be real with you.
Yeah, he was one shot a second ago from going night-night, so he needs to kind of keep that up. 30 seconds. This is a problem, though. They're rolling about at the moment. Not much damage kind of landed. He's got a good chance right now. Here we go. This is his opportunity to finish the fight right here. Doesn't quite get it. 15 seconds
Don't got enough juice.
Yeah, it's a really
Pretty
good
let
block.
go, right? 3 seconds left.
Oh, I was about to say.
Imagine that knocked him out.
Well, what was a back and forth battle, both guys testing each other in a number of domains. We go to the judges' scorecards.
We go to the judges' scorecards for decision. All 3 judges score this contest 30-27.
30-27.
By unanimous decision, Josh.
Gets it done, brother.
He said, yeah, we could have won all 3 because that fight started off so. I felt like if you asked me 3 minutes into that round, I would have bet every penny I had on Art of War. After the first 3 minutes, I would have, because the way he was using that jab and the way he was dealing with it and dealing with the takedowns. As soon as he kept getting taken down, the frustration setting, and we noticed that moment. That's when that fight turned its head.
Yeah, you said it best too. I don't have no words to that. You hit the nail on the coffin.
So absolutely fantastic performance, Mali, and maybe he does get a title shot, Jedi. Who knows?
Maybe.
Well, lads, the next one is upon us. What has been an absolutely crazy night of fights. We are now moving onwards and upwards to a former champion and what many would consider the pound-for-pound GOAT of the PlayStation division, holding the longest title defense for any competitor in that division's conception. It is Smudger, now 6-2, highly motivated to reclaim the PlayStation Gold. And like I said, there's a lot of storylines building for this man, whether it be GOAT, whether it be CV, but either way, he is not there quite yet. He has an incredibly game and dangerous threat across from him. MK Dave, 5-1 currently in the PlayStation division, hot off non-stop finishes in his last couple wins. And let's be straight up humble. Both of these guys have massive opportunities ahead of them, but it has never been a more important fight for either competitor, because it basically makes or destroys their kind of aspirations of that goal.
Exactly. And we're coming up to Primetime 100 very soon. Smudger is known for being in the PlayStation division. He's regularly known in his own head and on who to us as well as the PlayStation is GOAT essentially. And speaking of GOAT is in the co-main event, so this is going to have title implications essentially for GOAT, and then the rivalry with CV. What Smudger does in this fight determines the next lot of events and PT 100. It's such a big fight, J-Time. I can't wait. And I have to say, MK Dave coming off a disappointing performance against GOAT in his last one, he's going to be wanting to prove himself in this one. He needs a big statement, and Smudger, if he beats Smudger, that's going to leave a huge statement.
If he beats Smudger, he's not far from a title shot, essentially. Like, Smudger is the PT GOAT on PlayStation, so MK Dave may need this win more than anybody right now.
MK Dave going the Marvin Vettori pick, Smudger going Alex Pereira. Maybe he's looking to just employ some of that counter-striking that we've seen him use with the likes of Izzy in the past. But it's always interesting to me when I see Smudger without the ability to truly grapple with somebody like his Usman pick there, Humble, because obviously it limits an part of the game slightly. It obviously matters who's behind the sticks, not necessarily just the fighter, but it does have an impact, as we mentioned earlier.
Yeah, Smudger doesn't care about grappling of MK Dave, I don't believe. I think that he's so confident in this fight, he doesn't really... That's the pick selection, kind of tells me that. He doesn't care. Then plus the lead hook from Smudger is the kind of money. He does a lot of them pull, sort of stutter steps, things like that, J-Time, but the lead hook is going to be the key. He's going to be looking to land it in nearly every combo.
Yeah, Marvin got to find a way. He got to pressure him and find a way to put this on the ground. Because Alex don't want to be there, Cyrus.
No, definitely not. Not pressed up against the cage like this, but even if that's the case, you know that somebody like Smudger will try to set up uppercuts and knees on takedown attempts should MK Dave want to go there. He does enter on a clinch the first time round, very, very educated to push him back up against that cage and continue this momentum. He does have Smudger really highly pressed right now, but those knees from Smudger keeping MK Dave's honest and his cardio a little bit taxed.
Yeah, and we remember what GOAT did to Smudger as well. He frustrated him and won a fight, the championship fight, with a lot of wrestling. So essentially MK Dave might be looking to kind of do that. I haven't seen it yet. He's using the bulldog perk really well, J-Time, but not a lot of grappling apart from one clinch attempt. But he's doing okay. He's starting to land a lot of shots.
Yeah, but them shots in between, if Smudger throws them, can be wary on Marvin Vettori's stamina too.
You are right. And that is
We were talking about the left hook, but the right hook lands. An uppercut return for Marvin Vettori, though, who recovers quickly. God damn, these guys really fighting tooth and nail across the stretch of the last 2.5 minutes. There's still a lot of time left as a big pull counter lands, Humble, for the one and only NM Smudger.
Yeah, Dave needs someone to land to get some serious respect, like rock or knockdown, is what I'm saying. He needs to do that from Smudger to kind of change the way Smudger's playing, kind of get a bit more respect from him, because now he's starting to meet Smudger not near the fence, and that's kind of going against him, J-Dan, because Smudger's got space behind him, and that's where he's going to set up counters.
Yeah, Smudger's fighting really well on his back foot right now against Marvin Vettori, and what adjustments do you think MK Dave needs to make here, Cyrus?
Well, I mean, continue to try and make it dirty, more of those clinch attempts, maybe a couple of takedowns in the mix. Those kicks are not going to be there for him. NM Smudger is an absolute master of range who will step in and out of distance, as you just saw right there. The counters ever, you know, kind of present from somebody like Smudger, who will be looking to turn the lights out if you give him that opportunity. Little straights worked in, Humble, just continuing to barrel it down the center.
In the last 30 seconds of the fight, I've seen the fight switch. You can't really see it in terms of damage. There's just some subtle things that Smudger's doing that has completely kind of changed a few things. That's better from MK Dave. He needs to get him against the fence and keep him there. This is exactly where he's going to win the fight if he's going to win it. And Smudger being very wise, creates a bit of space, and now he's got space behind him again. That's the key, J-Dan. The space behind him is the key.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. Marvin Vettori got to keep pressuring, though. He can't... Oh, nice. Like that. He got to get him pressed up like that.
Yeah, it's better for him, but obviously Smudger usually landing... The one thing about Smudger, Cyrus, is you can land... It's like Trixie. You can land 5 or 6 really good combinations against him, even getting a rock against him. Yeah. He needs 1 or 2.
Exactly right. I mean, he has that killer instinct. The ability to finish fights is something that this man was born with. MK Dave was making it really dirty towards the end of that last round, and I think that was paying dividends for him. More of that is what the doctor ordered. as you were calling for it, Jay, he gets the clinch up against the cage, and is going to look to take his back, and does.
There we go. He needed that, because if it's just gonna be a striking match from the outside, Smudger on his back foot, Marvin's gonna lose that fight. This is what Marvin has to do. Make it rough and rugged.
The champion's in the chat right now. Goat saying that Smudger's playing terrible and he's just trash talking him. So the champion's got his eye on this one. Essentially, they probably come in event out as well, Cyrus, because like CV as well, because everyone here knows the danger between these two competitors.
Yeah, exactly right, man. Look, there's a lot of heat between those two guys, and look, MK Dave trying to upset all the storylines here this evening. He is trying to put himself in the name of top competitors in the PlayStation division, if he hasn't done that already. Looking good right now as well, to be honest with you, Jay. He is fighting Smudger tit for tat. Obviously only 3 rounds, so the stamina advantage not going to play a massive effect unless he's able to capitalize on it soon.
Yeah, but Marvin's having a way better round this round than he did in round 1.
This is what he needs to do in the fight. It's not good. It doesn't look pretty at all. He's getting caught as well. Of course, you're going to get caught against Smudger. You have to accept that. Smudger's got a chance to finish it. All that pressure. It's over.
All of that for nothing. All of that success in that second round for nothing.
He needs one. He needs one good moment to kind of finish a fight. You might need 3 or 4. I loved the gameness of Dave Cyrus. He really went out there and he switched it up and made adjustments. Smudger adapted and overcame, and he gets a second round finish. Smudger looks really good right now. Had some adversity in that fight, so it'll be interesting to see. And obviously, Goat's talking about it in CV and others, but he has put himself right up there for a title shot.
Yeah, brother, I think he may be next up. That was a potential number 1. With performances like that, hard to deny the man. I mean, look, this guy always sends me a couple of messages leading up to his fights, and this fight was no different. He said, and he lived up to this as well, he said, no matter who I'm in there with, they ain't getting out there alive. They're going out there in some sort of stretcher. This guy, when he is focused, he is a fucking problem over that PlayStation division. He seems absolutely reinvigorated. He is taking it to his opponents, and he's able to get a W here in what wasn't an easy fight by any stretch of the imagination. His opponent MK Dave was truly able to take it to him, was able to test him in a couple of moments, and was able to land a couple of really key shots to put Smudger on that back foot. But he did what a champion did, rose to the occasion and got that finish. My fucking god, this has been an incredible set of fights so far. Wow. Mr. Humbledink, we are already now to the co-main and main event of the evening. 12 fights already in the books, brother, and now we're getting to the first title fight of Primetime 97. B3 GOAT, your reigning goddamn champion, up against the Truth from Team Truth in CV.
Sing it to me, Cyrus. Co-main event, Goat versus CV. And I have a bit of a question for Jay Dan going at this one. We just seen Goat in the chat going on about Smudger's performance. He even mentioned at the end of it, I beat MK Dave with lots of rocks, you nearly got finished, etc. Is Goat distracted? CV's kind of quiet, he's not really saying anything, we know what he's like, he's reserved. And he kind of fights like that as well. He warms himself into the fight and kind of takes lead later on in the fight. But do you believe Goat might be slightly distracted with Smudger's performance? Obviously the beef between them two as well.
No, not at all. I'm gonna tell you why. This isn't new for Goat. He kind of always argues with people, right. And this is a part of who Goat is. This is not going to stop Goat. Goat is going to be the best version of himself, regardless.
You are correct, Jay. Now you say that, I'm thinking about it. Yeah, you are 100% correct. He does that. This is going to be a fantastic fight. You do. I wonder how much wrestling Goat's going to kind of use in this fight, Cyrus.
I imagine a lot, but look, he's now a B3 boy, and those hands have definitely come a long way. So we will see how that plays out ahead of him. He is going up against CV, who is one of the best strikers in the PlayStation division, period, for my man. His technique is sensational. I talk about it in a bunch of ways, but his range management, his timing on shots are fantastic. We're having a bit of an issue with the stream going into it, and I hope that's only going to be momentary.
No way. No way.
We started 10 minutes ago.
Yeah, I mean, they skipped in 15 seconds, but look, we're here and we are live. First angle pick of the night goes to Goat MMA, and he gets it.
Massive. Absolutely massive, Jordan.
Yeah, exactly, because he needs that, because CV likes to start slow. and he can kind of take away the stamina advantage CV usually has.
Yeah, that's great. I just want to say,
just
Goat has the
like
most amount betting on him every single week. This week, there's 85k bet on his fight. Last week there was 170,000 bet on his fight. Constantly setting boundaries, and people going, but majority of people, 65,000, went on to CV Cyrus.
Oh yeah, I mean CV has a lot of support, brother. Like I said, I call him the Truth from Team Truth, and it is exactly right. He is not, really taken any steps wrong so far in his primetime run. Fought the best of the business every step of the way. Now going in for that belt once more, up against somebody like Goat, who, as you can see, when he's on, Jay, he will take you down at will. And of course, he's got some hands to mix in there in between as well.
It is
nice,
J-Dime, that the stream. It's their side. It's their sort of we're kind of mirroring what they've got on their stream, so essentially, and it's just slightly off. It is slightly disappointing. I know the action's been fantastic, but hopefully that sorts itself out.
Jeez, ooh. But I'm the GOAT is doing such a good job right now, just making it an ugly fight for CV, because CV likes to start a little later, make his reads. But it's probably gonna be tough for him to make reads now, just because I'm the GOAT started early and got to take down early, Cyrus.
Yeah, exactly right, brother. And though there's been some technical issues, it does seem to have sorted itself out at this stage. And Vinny Violate seems to be appreciating it as well, as he comes in for the resub over there. We appreciate you, my man. They are now back on their feet with CV pushing on those hips. And goodness, those ankle picks coming his way.
Another one. Another ankle pick is crazy.
Yeah, he's DJ Khaled tonight, and he's going for another one every single time. And CV's going to be throwing stuff down the middle, J-Dime. He's got the perfect character for it. It makes him slightly predictable, though, when you kind of go down the middle too much, especially with front kicks, things like that, because he gets sidestepped. Goat might be looking for it, but at the moment, they're very wary of that takedown.
Oh, yeah, and here's the thing. I'm scared about TJ because of his block. That scares me. He has like an 88 block on this game. That's the one thing right there.
Nice. CV landed a nice combination there. 4-piece really important. That's going to build his confidence. He's a slow starter, Cyrus, but Goat doesn't care, essentially.
Yeah, no, for sure, brother. He does not give a shit. But that may be a problem as he gets clipped. Look, GOAT of MMA has been tried and tested every single step of his primetime run. This is the record.
How didn't that rock him? Sorry, Cyrus.
No, you're all good, brother.
Take two of them. That's crazy. Oh.
Stamina 4.
Yeah, but look at the stamina now. See, now this is working in CV favor.
So this is the thing. GOAT doesn't, same as all the B3 boys, they don't give a shit about stamina. To be like straight up with you, they never have, they never will. And look at the names. I mean, he won his belt up against Smudger. Right, GOAT did. He then had a title defense up against MK Dave that we saw in the last fight, up against Smudger. And this is his only second defense, so, I mean, he's still new in his run, and he's not willing to give it up anytime soon. But he has to beat one of the best in the business. And as you can see, he's coming prepared, chaining those takedowns together, Humble, one after another until he's successful.
Yeah, exactly. He's starting to come into his own. Like, he's starting to find a successful formula. And he's sticking to it. He's understanding that got him to the championship. It got him there. And that's what I like about certain fighters. They realise, I've got it now. That's what I should be doing to everybody. Obviously, you have to adjust and make those adjustments for people. But he's in a similar position to Fonty was as he gets him out right there. When Fonty had to prove himself a couple of weeks ago, he's having to do the same. And it's Killer's Raw PlayStation at the top. CV, Smudge, MK Dave, all these guys are killers, Jedi.
Nice. Yeah, it is. And I'm the GOAT. Has been, like I said, he's been looking like the best version of himself ever since he got that belt. It's like he overcame a hurdle.
He did. That mental obstacle that he had has definitely been overcome, and he is riding into the sunset with that belt, or so it would seem. He does not want to stop CV or anybody else.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, bro.
Oh my days.
Are we getting Anu? Is he getting his belt back? Oh.
In charge. He's in charge. Even though Goat's been doing really well and he's had some good moments in this fight, CV stayed calm under pressure. He's starting to get his gold for it, essentially. We need to see some adjustments with Goat, but I thought he was doing well. It's just kind of above my pay grade, Cyrus.
Yeah, I mean, look, these guys fighting at the highest of levels. This is one of the things. The fight can change at a moment. moment's notice. And these guys with the absolute, kind of incredible fight IQ that they have the ability to finish the fight from absolutely anywhere. As CV goes back to his favored realm up here on the feet, J-Dime, and he's using some tricky head movement, but it gets him clipped.
Oh, nice.
Oh, but he survives. Good composure. The thing is, even though CV got stunned, I love his composure right now. He hasn't panicked once, even though he's going against Pewter Yan and I'm the GOAT pressure.
He likes to build it up, essentially. Oh, he need to get caught right there. Needs to be careful, Peter Yan. Let's go of MMA coming back. He's doing his best. This is a great fight so far. Title fight for the PlayStation division. Go try to defend his belt. CV coming back. It's been in CV's favour so far in the first and second round. We've seen some. Oh, the stamina, Cyrus. We've seen some come back from GOAT at times, but the stamina is a problem.
Yeah, that lead body roundhouse was massive from him, excellently timed, and now he's stuffing the takedowns as well. This is only going to continue to wane on the stamina of the champion, who is coming to the end of the second round of a potential 5 J-Dime. So he needs that finish, and he needs it soon, brother.
Yeah, but he's going to try to break his block. He's going to try to B3, but CV is ready for it. Oh my, the stamina. If GOAT going to win this, he's going to have to win with no stamina.
He's still throwing.
He's going to have to win with no stamina if he's going to,
GOAT of MMA still got an opportunity. As long as he's breathing, Cyrus, he's still got a chance to be in this fight. CV controlled the fight so far. It could be over in a matter of seconds for either guy. So do not blink as we come back for the next rounds.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. This is all action all the time, non-stop from the opening bell to what will inevitably be the closing one. Multiple rocks, multiple knockdowns. As you see, goddamn, CV, brother. I mean, he's looking in the prettier spots, though. His stamina's at an all-time high, although he does need to be a little bit careful because, even though he's hurt, that injured lion in GOAT is still here to take your head off.
Yeah, GOAT's a dog. That's what you can't take away from him. It don't matter how much stamina he got, he's still a dog. And then he's a B3 boy, so you know how it is. But CV's strength is his stamina management, so it's going his way, Humble.
Yeah, definitely. He's going to try and he calms every round as well. If he goes back to that corner, takes a big deep breath, and it's about defense essentially, not offense straight away. He needs to be careful.
Spinning elbow.
It's over.
I know. Oh my gosh. I knew. Someone told me this week. Watch out for GOAT spinning elbow.
Living
shot KO and he's done it again.
Not this season, though, J-Dime. I'll hand it over to Cyrus, the crown, the new PlayStation champion.
You did it, brother. And new in it, and new. And again, CV, the truth from Team Truth, gets it done again over B3 GOAT, who has been on a murdering spree. When he got that stamina advantage, he started to tick away and run away with it. The true tactician, the perpetual gamer that is CV, utilized his game plan and his skills perfectly to get the W rate, here this evening, Humble. And I mean, let's be honest, this man, he's built for 5 rounds. His hardest run may have been on the way back to 5-round fights, but when he's got those 5 rounds to work, he gets better as time goes on.
Yeah, 100%. I could give 1,000 compliments for that performance from CV and go on about 1,000 different things that he did right. But what I want to talk about, I'm sorry, it's got me the most excited. CV versus Smudger. We're gonna see it again, hopefully. Oh my God, J-Dime, those two guys have been going at it forever, almost. Yeah. The only loss CV's got is to Smudger. Smudger won tonight. CV's now the champion, and the next
So I got a question about that. Do you think Smudger and CV are the best two that we've seen on Primetime on PlayStation?
In my head, yes. Yes, I do. The two most the way those two play, they're like, the best way to describe it is like a sports team that win 90% of the matches and lose now and then. They dominate possession, they dominate like the areas they should, and they're so prolific in everything they do. And when they meet each other, it's 50-50, and it's just like, who's going to win that fight? And that's what I cannot wait to see again, Cyrus.
Yeah, no, honestly, it is. The storyline was written, man. But I mean, look, these guys built their own storylines up until this point. GOAT of MMA and others, MK Dave, were trying to upset that and to write their own story here this evening, but Smudger and CV got the job done. They will now be finding themselves in a title fight opportunity on Primetime 98 next weekend out. Make sure to set it in your diaries, because I'm telling you, if you think this card's been crazy, the action, the levels only continue to be upped each and every week. And with that in mind, since we have a slightly shorter card this weekend, and we of course have an incredible main event here this evening, for the final time here this evening, we are going to go back to our promo, get us all fired up for what has been an incredible Primetime 97, and only promises to be topped off by two of the best in the business on the Xbox division. EK Fonte, currently reigning champion over that Xbox division, taking on the ever dangerous threat in FSK Driz. God damn, this is one to be for the history books for sure.
Birds flying high, you know how I feel. Sun in the sky, you know how I feel. Breeze drifting on by, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me, yeah. And I'm feeling good.
Driz looks good. Driz is playing like one of the best versions of himself right now. Oh my!
Driz showing why he is so goddamn dangerous. FSK Driz, take a freaking bow, mama.
Fish in the sea, you know how I feel. River running free, you know how I feel. Blossom on the tree.
A new era is dawning, it would appear, with the Elite Kingsman back on top, with Fonte leading the goddamn charge. And still, G.
He's looking like a champion that is going to be very difficult.
Champion just seems to find the mark more often than not. Champion looking so clean.
And still,
The Xbox champion EK Fonte takes on the challenger FSK Driz for the Xbox championship, and the card starts right now.
What is good, Primetime? We are back with Primetime 97 once again for the final time here this evening. Your voices of the virtual octagon, the one and only J-Dime TV and Mr. Humbleding. Lads, we are back in a big way for the main event here this evening. The Xbox Championship on the goddamn line. EK Fonte, reigning champion Humble, going up against the incredibly dangerous FSK Driz. My man, this has all of the hallmarks of one of the title fights that will go down in the history books.
Definitely as well. And Fonte's on the pinnacle of doing so with J-Dam. He's about to, I think he defended his belt 3 times. Not many people have done that. Like, the more you defend your belt, the more you put yourself up there for court status, essentially. And almost an unexpected champion. A lot of people backing Driz to beat him in this one, which I find surprising, considering everybody keeps backing and going against Fonte, and he keeps surprising us time and time again.
he just has a way to show up when it matters. Fonte, it's like that motivates him. Like when he's the underdog, he just shows up every time, Humble.
Exactly that. But Driz is a prolific striker, Cyrus. He's had some fantastic finishes throughout. We'll point out his finish last season. If you remember correctly, we have the Grand Prix at the end of each year, and Fadinit was an undefeated streak towards that Grand Prix. And fought Driz in his last fight, essentially lost that one to deny himself. You know, it was crazy, absolute craziness that Driz got that one. But then he beat Trixie as well this season. Madness.
Yeah, the scenes when Driz is at his best are absolute madness for sure. This man has absolute killer's row every time he steps into Primetime MMA because the echelon of his name and how actively he gets in at the beginning of the seasons, with three straight wins in the second and third round against names like Naz, Kante, Pirate Kip. He is a game and dangerous challenger to this Primetime Xbox Championship, but Fonty is aware of that, and he does not just want to lose. You know, he doesn't want to lose his Primetime gold, but he doesn't want to lose his undefeated spree at that as well, J-Dime. Currently 5-0 in this division, and off to one hell of a start here in this, in this season.
Yeah, and I'm really interested to see how this fight goes. I want to see how long it's going to take before Kamaru Usman uses his grappling, Humble.
Yeah, exactly that. And just to allude on like Bonte this season with winning the belt as well, it's because he's been adjusting. Cyrus, he's got multiple game plans throughout the fight. He's multiple adjustments. We say that with the likes of Trixie and Fadden and all these other guys, and that's what Fonte's starting to do now. He's adjusting multiple times through the fight. So one thing that you might see in the first round might be completely different in the second, and it's those sort of adjustments that are going to help him try and win the fight. Very even so far between these two.
Yeah, exactly right. I mean, the champion has incredibly solid fundamentals, really, really high fight IQ in this octagon. And as you rightly said, you know, he does like to adapt to his opponent's tendencies. Kind of almost reminds me of the MMA version of a Lomachenko or something like that in the way that he's developing in this octagon. But those adjustments are going to have to come thick and fast, because as you can see, Driz is pouncing all over him with a vengeance here this evening, not allowing him much opportunity to breathe and trying to force out some errors from the champion here, Jay.
Yeah, and I'm still just waiting to see when Kamaru's going to use his jab, just change up. I'm waiting on it, Humble.
Yeah, I can see what he's doing though. If you think about Driz as a fast starter, he comes out really hot. So if you're fighting him, his best chance is usually that first round, because he really comes out hot and he tries to do a lot of damage in there. And now what we're seeing from Fonte is he's slowly starting to come out of his shell. He's slowly starting to kind of catch his opponent here and there, using a lot of defense, which is I like to see. And it's purposely done as a champion. You need to do it, Cyrus. You need to be on your defensive as well as your attack.
Yeah, exactly right. Honestly, I like what I'm seeing from both guys right now. I do feel like they're having big moments of successes on both sides of the equation, ticking and tacking at each other's defense, trying to find a hole or kind of a chink in that armor. Nice uppercut lands from the challenger in Driz, who's pressing his opponent back behind that cage line once again with the bodywork mounting up. Surely here, J-Dime, with those straights, rinse and repeat to the body.
Yeah, Dressler has had a great start, but it's not how you start, it's how you finish. So if just get to the next round, we're going to see what adjustments Fonte will make after this.
Yes, we are. We're seeing a beautiful performance from both guys so far. Not much sort of, you can't tell who's had the best of the round, essentially. It's very, very, very close. But at the same time, it is very early in this title fight, Cyrus.
Yeah, and if you are as eagerly into this one as we are, let us know in the chat who you think is winning at this stage. Round one, does that go to Driz? Does that go to Fonte? My money, it's a 50-50 pick'em, but we have, thankfully, another 4 rounds scheduled on tonight's fight clock for these two fighters. Woo, they are heating up, brother. And another combo lands for the challenger.
Ooh.
Yeah, 100%. These guys are spot in prime time as well, because you spend all the prelims and the main card not going to a sort of a decision or long around, Cyrus, in the spot, and these get this technical, absolute masterclass battle between two top-level competitors at the top of the game at the right time as well, and essentially a mixture of everything in prime time. Oh.
The leg kicks now starting to come out as well. A little front teep from Driz, but Driz does his best work behind his boxing, and he's trying to get that going again with another combination to close the distance here, J-Dime. The combos are really, and that jab is pushing non-stop Fonte behind the black line, but he's just continually in motion and circles to the center of that cage. Excellent read from the champion, making sure he's not getting pressed.
That's crazy, because Leon's the one who shot here.
Yeah. He didn't get the best position though. Like Fonte had control of that clinch and still ends up with his back against the fence, so he needed to kind of turn that and kind of create the space behind him, put Driz against the fence. Didn't do it, and now maybe he likes being here. I don't know. He's kicking the leg at will. The guy's walking into him, isn't he? So Driz is going into the leg kick essentially, so it's making it a lot easier to land.
Yeah, for sure. Somebody's been doing their homework in the corner of Ike Fonte, making excellent adjustments and reads on what combinations and strikes will be successful here this evening. A bit of a different start to the second round. Those leg kicks definitely mounting up, but Driz continues with the same game plan of forward momentum and combinations. I don't know if it's starting to go in his favor though, as his block is becoming mincemeat out here, Humble.
Yeah, I was going to throw it back to the earlier fight that we've seen J Dime with the B3 member. You know, once they start landing on that guard and the bleed through comes through, you see it switch third, fourth round maybe, really quick. So he's got to be careful. I feel like Fonte's he's impressed with loads of the leg damage, everything like that, but his defense for that block needs to improve immediately.
Yeah, I agree with you. Nice teep too. I'm just waiting for a big moment to happen in this fight. It's been technical, but a crazy moment hasn't happened yet.
It's about to, because these two are getting to the point now where the head health, the block damage, Cyrus, it's depleted. You know, they're too good not to land. The defense is high, but the attack level from both of these guys is incredible. So we're about to see some big violence.
Yeah, exactly right, brother. And those teeps, look at them continue, and he's ripping to them. He found success with it. The body uppercuts are following as he presses him against that cage.
Ooh.
But Usman answering back with some clean-ass combinations. That lead hook is money right now, Jay.
Yeah, it is. Like, this is such a competitive fight, such a high-level fight right now, Cyrus.
It truly is, brother, and we're only 2 rounds into this one.
Oh, wow.
We are going into the 3rd round, and then potentially championship rounds may be met here this evening. But I mean, look, the defense and the offense at an all-time high. They're finding openings against each other there, Humble, but you can see the dangers just constantly present as they are making mincemeat out of each other's kind of extremities. That leg, the chest, the body health, all that's going bye-bye.
Yeah, they're just as constant adjustments from both of these guys. They're focused on that leg health, but then he's switching up because he switches to the opposite stance and starts going with a different attack. I do believe that the block damage from Fonte needs to be really concerning for him. He needs to kind of get away from that and make sure that Driz can't keep pressuring and hitting the block, because it's going to bleed through J Dime and eventually get him to a position where he could get hurt or rocked or knocked down, and then the round start going against you.
Yeah. Right now, in my book, Drizzler is slightly winning this fight, but it's still really close, Humble.
Yeah, it's exactly the same to myself. I feel like I don't know though, so it's like, don't ask us to score this fight, guys. We might be seeing something completely different. It's so technically efficient from both guys. There's good and bad on both, but mainly good from what I'm seeing. Driz coming forward, he's really picking his spots. Cyrus is really starting to catch his opponent. I believe starting to get ahead slightly now in this round.
Yeah, no, but he very well could be. The cumulative shots maybe starting to add. Oh, look at that 1-2 from Usman, bro. It is. Oh my goodness.
Again. That's the unload, Cyrus, but that's what I mean. That it's so quick, anything can change in a second. Those 2 shots weren't necessarily big, were like too damaging. They went rocks, but we know what that means because of how close this fight's been so far.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my god. The knees, he's really starting to come out with them now, is Driz. He's trying to frustrate Fonte, but the jab just continues to land money. The right hand lands from Driz!
Oh! I don't know. This is such, like, it's not as high pace as the last fight, but it's a technical fight right here, and I'm enjoying this.
100%. This is where previous fights that Fonte's been in, he's not been winning every single fight. Essentially, Cyrus, he's had to make adjustments, as mentioned in our things. He needs to make one right now. His championship depends on it. He has to fight for it, Cyrus. He has to make Driz work right now. He needs to get some respect back because he's starting to slip out of the grasp of his hands.
Yes, sir. He needs to get on that bike, brother, because he's attacking that leg still, and that's only going to set him up for another 1-2 from Driz. Honestly, I now see a little bit of frustration, but the flip down lands.
Driz trying to become a new.
Is he gonna do it?
Jab, nice forward jab, nice educated jab there. He's pressing him against the fence, J Dime.
Nice. And he shoots. He gets it.
Might have saved his championship right there.
Yeah, he needs to stay the rest around here.
Oh my.
Nice.
Anna denied 20 seconds. Elbows are going to rain down. Good transition back to half guard from the challenger. But my goodness, Fonte now trying to pour it on after what was a very difficult minute or so leading to that takedown. I mean, you've got to wonder where the champion's confidence is going to be at going into this fourth round now. In traditionally, what are his rounds? Championship rounds, you know, he got tested at the end of the third, Humble.
This is where we find out about Fonte right now. This fight right here, this round right here, we find out if Fonte is the real champion, if he's the real deal, because now he's got himself in real adversity. Driz looks like he's about to come and you. And Fonte needs to throw everything at him.
Man, it may be over, fellas. It may be over for him. I can't even... It's close to the end, it seems like.
I will not doubt this man out of this fight. He is not built like that. Ike Fonte is game to the very, very end, but the odds surely do seem stacked against him as he slips and tries to rip to the body right there. That jab right hand is just too difficult for Driz. I mean, he just continues to find a home for it time after time.
He needs one back, like he needs a rock and knockdown back, because he might be able to land some damage when he's got him hurt essentially, but he's just taking it too much at the moment. He's not kind of getting his opportunity to kind of fire back, or Driz is doing just enough and then getting out. He's starting to have an educated approach to it. He's not just going forward. J-Dime.
Yeah, but Fonte needs a moment right now because Leon has this momentum and it don't seem like he's gonna stop either.
No, and honestly, with the success he had on the mat towards the end of the last round, I'm surprised we don't see a takedown out of the champion. Now we approach these championship rounds because, you know, it's dicey on the feet. Oh, the right hand lands someone.
How is he not down, Cyrus? That is crazy. He just took some massive shots, stumbles, but doesn't get rocked or dropped. Oh, he gets rocked there, though. This could be it.
Oh, this is it. We have a new champion, fellas. This is it.
This has got to be it. Fonte on his last legs, he dodges. It's over. The new Xbox champion, Driz, does it, Cyrus.
And new FSK Driz, the FSK boys, going to be going crazy in the background, reclaiming the gold for their camp. Driz has had the confidence leading into this fight that only champions possess. He believed in his abilities, and he kind of knew that he was going to get the job done here this evening, but it wasn't easy work for him. I mean, the champion came out here, put on one hell of a fight until the eventual accumulative damage added up against him. Beautiful performance from what is now the reigning undefeated champion of the Xbox division, J-Dime. What a goddamn performance from FSK Driz.
Yeah, that was beautiful. He didn't just win it, he took the belt from him. He ended it in fashion in a very competitive fight. He took over.
Yeah, exactly.
100%. So exciting as well, Cyrus. And I need to point this out. It needs to be said. It's at the most important time in primetime history. We're about to hit primetime 100. The people who are going to be main eventing, we're going to try and put the best fights we possibly can together for that card, but we do that every week anyway. So it's incredibly hard, Cyrus, because we put the best fights we possibly can on, no matter what. Yeah. And whoever is headlining that card is going to be monumental. Essentially, it's such a big accolade to have.
Yeah, look, we have big things planned for Primetime as a whole, but Primetime 100 is something that we definitely have some interesting notions in the water for, and I am, for one, incredibly excited to get there. Of course, we have a number of killer events leading up to that next Saturday. Primetime 98 will be at your screens with the lightweight fight, from what I've heard at the back, full of fighters to be announced, of course, between Smudger and the new reigning champion CV. That one is already scheduled. We just we've got some interesting things to be announced around obviously the fighters and everything, but honestly I cannot wait for the storyline built. But what was after really an emotional Primetime 97, we appreciate every single ounce of the support that you guys have been pouring out to us over the run of Primetime, over the last couple of years. All the follows, the shares, the biddies, the subs, it means the absolute world, and it continues to motivate us to put these fights on what has been a genuinely crazy run. But as we said, the action is only starting now. Primetime 100 around the corner and bigger and better on the horizon. Until then, make sure to join the raid at the end. Much love from myself, Mr. Humbledink, JDime TV, and all of the guys at Primetime and the family that support us behind this and behind the scenes. Until the next one, peace out.
Peace.